Video of an alleged attempted kidnapping at a bikini barista stand. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao has details.
On August 18th, police say 19-year-old Ezekiel Guerrero pulled up to the drive-thru. In the surveillance video, you see a man buying a drink. Everything seemed fine at first until the barista handed him his order. The customer is seen aggressively grabbing her arm, trying to force her out the window. The barista braces herself on the framing when he lets go and drives away. In his own words, during an interview with Lakewood detectives, Guerrero described what happened.
I remember reaching vividly, grabbed her, she said help. The moment she said help, I let go. And I got out of there. I didn't escalate.
Police say they tracked him down using his credit card receipt from that night.
A former Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to shut down a plane mid-flight is ready to plead guilty. Joseph Emerson was off duty in the cockpit last October when he grabbed two red handles. In a recent interview with CBS, Emerson described why he did it.
In the dream, in this dissociative state, I thought they were going to wake me up. It didn't wake me up, right? I was in reality. I know that now. It's the most consequential 3 seconds of my life.
Emerson told police he hadn't slept in days and thought he was dreaming. He also said he'd taken psychedelic mushrooms just 2 days prior. His attorneys say Emerson will plead guilty today to a federal charge and no contest to a state charge. Meanwhile, a man in Renton is charged for allegedly burglarizing high-profile celebrities and athletes in the Seattle area over the span of several months. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has details.
10 felony crimes were added to the list out of Renton, Issaquah, and Edmonds. That includes robberies and burglaries at the home of Seattle Mariner pitcher Luis Castillo, former Seattle Seahawk Richard Sherman, and musician Macklemore, plus a home invasion at the residence of former Seattle Mariner Ichiro Suzuki. 29-year-old Patrick Masonette was in court for a different set of crimes, a jewelry store robbery at Robbins Brothers Fine Jewelers in Bellevue. Police say he and two others stole a $30,000 watch.
A 16-year-old student is accused of threatening to shoot up Swim High School. The FBI says it was contacted by TikTok, where the boy posted the threat on the social media platform. Clallam County Sheriff's Office took the boy into custody at his home early yesterday morning. The investigation is ongoing. And wildfire smoke is lingering across our state. KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay reports.
Things are a little hazy in the Seattle area, but it's much worse in central and eastern Washington, where all counties are under air quality alerts. Beth Friedman with the Washington State Department of Ecology says light winds are keeping smoke trapped.
So the smoke just sits and mixes together and doesn't really move around or go anywhere.
She says cooler weather may start slowing down the fire activity, but the smoke's going to be around for several days. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Also, the Seahawks season home opener is this Sunday at Lumen Field, and KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors has a plan for you to get there safe and sound.
Leave the worry of driving and parking behind and hop aboard the Sounder train. The Sounder S-Line has 2 trips departing the south end from Lakewood, the first at 9:51 a.m., the second at 11:07 a.m. From the north end, it's the N line, but there's only 1 trip departing Everett at 10:45 a.m. Special Sounder service is in addition to the regular Link Light Rail, ST Express, and King County Metro to and from Lumen Field. Head to soundtransit.org for more information and to see the full schedule. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
And some 49ers fans you see at Lumen this Sunday might just be an undercover cop. The Seahawks announced they're using law enforcement dressed as opposing fans at home games this season. The team says it wants to quickly spot fans violating the code of conduct, and that includes unruly behavior, harassment, and substance abuse. Now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. No crashes to report right now. Average drive times: Tacoma to Seattle about 23, Puyallup up to Renton 18, Renton to Bellevue about 16 right now. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Friday, we're starting off partly cloudy again. Highs today will be close to 80. Right now, it's about 57 in downtown Seattle. And coming up, CBS's Scott MacFarlane shares the latest on President Trump's recent threats to deploy federal troops in an effort to combat crime. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like that family movie night your daughter can't live without. Yeah, Can't do that. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Iron Man. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
President Donald Trump suggested he could deploy federal troops to New Orleans, his latest threat to use the federal government to crack down on crime in a city run by a Democrat.
We check in now live with Scott McFarland from CBS News. He joins us from Washington, D.C. for the latest on this. So where do things stand, Scott? We are still anticipating Chicago as well, right?
The president's talked openly about when this will happen, not if this will happen, indicating that it's a done deal and potentially that it's imminent. The governor of Illinois does not want the Guard deployed. The mayor of Chicago does not want the Guard deployed. And that's very similar to what happened in Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., isn't it? If this comes to pass, and if it comes to pass, say, tomorrow or this weekend, it's going to look a lot more like what happened in Los Angeles, where you'd have the federal Guard, the National Guard troops protecting courthouses, federal buildings in the city, perhaps federal agents who might be doing federal immigration enforcement in the city. They're not just going to be manning posts on neighborhood streets with guns as they are in Washington, D.C., because, Charlie and Amanda, the president has unique authority in Washington, D.C. He can just unilaterally call up the Guard in the federal district. He can't do that in an American city.
What's the crime rate like in New Orleans right now?
Well, there's been this argument that some of these states that have sent the National Guard to Washington, D.C., Republican governors who've done so, including Louisiana's governor, have communities with crime rates that are similar to Washington, D.C., at least, there's some connective tissue between the types of crime and the volume of crime they get per capita in New Orleans and what you see in Washington, D.C. Same is true in Cleveland. Ohio sent the National Guard. Same is true in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi sent the National Guard. So there's a criticism that there's no need to have out-of-state troops here if the out-of-state troops could instead be helping local law enforcement in their own communities.
And, Scott, I think the big difference here is we've got a Republican governor in Louisiana who's saying, you're welcome here, whereas the governors of the other states are Democrats. Behind the scenes, how is that affecting the calculus for these troop deployments?
It's hard to ignore the political reality here, and so much of this is intermixed with politics, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of political losers here on this whole dispute and this whole debate. The president believes this is wonderful political terrain to be walking on, where you look like you're tough on crime and you're taking crime seriously, that's a boost for the president and for Republicans who support this vocally. The home state governors and mayors, they're getting a jolt and a galvanizing of their bases, their community. Washington, D.C.'s mayor has never had so much tension on her in her third term here in office, and she's got a vibrant base now that thinks she is defending them. Same can be true for Chicago's mayor and Illinois' governor. And I think it's also worth underscoring that these three cities, the first three cities the president has picked this fight outside of Washington, D.C., are Los Angeles, Chicago, Baltimore. Each of those cities has a governor in the state who's a 2028 hopeful.
Interesting. What kind of precedent might this set for future presidents when it comes to using military and domestic law enforcement? Is the genie out of the bottle?
I think it's an interesting question because there's so excuse me. Pardon me. I swear to you, there's flies in Washington, D.C., and I just enjoyed one for breakfast. Is this a precedent setter? Or is this something people try to avoid moving forward? It's an open question with all that Trump does.
We're going to let you run get some water, Scott.
Yeah, thank goodness you weren't on TV, Scott. I'm glad you're on radio right now. Scott McFarland, thank you.
And you'll have another chance to grab a winning ticket after no one won Wednesday's Powerball drawing, which was the fourth largest jackpot in Powerball history. The jackpot, which has not been won since May, is up to $1.7 billion, the third largest prize in history. CBS's Nancy Chen has more.
I'm feeling really lucky today, so I'm feeling good about it, and I think this store is lucky.
I'm hoping by midnight tonight it'd be worth a couple of million, a few million. Billion.
If 1.4 billion wasn't enough, try 1.7.
Tonight we've got another life-changing jackpot.
After no one matched those 6 magical numbers to become an instant billionaire.
For your winning Powerball number, good luck everyone. It is 22.
Wednesday's drawing was the fourth largest jackpot in Powerball history, and there hasn't been a winner since May. That drought leading to lines out the door of convenience stores in New York City.
I never played, so I'm just going to try it out today.
And in Chicago. Billion-dollar dreamers scooped up as many free Powerball Quick Pick tickets as they could in this machine challenge.
I bet you one of these is a winner.
Not this time, though, even though there were some wishful plans.
I will be vanishing onto a private island.
I live out my best life. Y'all would never see me again.
With another chance to test your luck on Saturday.
You gotta be in it to win it. You'll never win if you never play.
And for your KIRO News Radio forecast, cloudy skies to start. Highs today will be near 80. Right now, it's about 57 in downtown Seattle. And coming up next, looking for a fun adventure this weekend? Well, Seattle Morning News' Paul Holden breaks down all the exciting events happening around the Sound. That's coming up next. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
to every how in the world did he catch that moment.
Makes the catch! No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are back next week for a 7-game homestand, including a 3-day Logan Gilbert Funko Pop giveaway Monday to Wednesday against the Cardinals. Plus, all 3 games are Mariners value games, which means you can score seats for as little as $11. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life.
A lot of people don't understand, including myself, I didn't, now I do, the impact of having a stroke.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
It's a new life, but I'm going to make it better. I'm coming back. Ask your doctor, check your blood pressure.
Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there, too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gordon Christensen, and if you're a dentist as I am, or you know a dentist, please take a moment to listen. When I became a dentist, I learned how quickly poor oral health can lead to other serious health problems. And for people without access to care, these problems can spiral very quickly. I wanted to help, but I wasn't sure how I could until I joined Dental Lifeline Network. It's a nonprofit that has helped us literally change the lives of people in our communities. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one of the many patients in need in your area. It's very simple. DLN screens those in need and coordinates an initial appointment that takes place in the comfort of the dentist's own office and on their schedule. Right now, there's a wait list for patients in need in your community. I'm asking fellow dentists who will join me in seeing one patient per year.
Learn more about Dental Lifeline Network at willyouseeone.org. That's willyouseeone.org.
The 7500 EV tax credit expires on September 30th, so head to Carter Volkswagen, Subaru, or Acura today. Discover their great selection, discounts, and financing offers now on the 2025 ID4 or the all-new ID Buzz from Carter Volkswagen, the 2025 Solterra from Carter Subaru, and the 2025 Acura ZDX at Carter Acura. The tax credit is ending soon, so hurry into Carter Motors or visit them at carterseattle.com.
Offer on lease vehicles only. Not all buyers will qualify. See store for details.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart.
live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorps Connect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. clashed with senators from both parties during an explosive hearing on Capitol Hill. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell roasted him over his anti-vaccine policies. KIRO News Radio's Corin Haig has more.
The Washington Democrats slammed RFK Jr. for cutting vaccine funding using an old-fashioned word. Kennedy tried to push back.
You're so wrong on your facts.
You're interrupting me. And, sir, you're a charlatan. That's what you are. You're the ones who conflate chronic disease with the need for vaccines.
Kennedy opened the hearing before the Senate Finance Committee, touting his successes.
We at HHS are enacting a once-in-a-generation shift from a sick care system to a true health care system.
Cantwell said history has proven the effectiveness of vaccines. Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
Welcome to the all-new Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Bigger casino, new restaurants and bars. A place to meet friends. World-class service.
All right, thank you so much.
Fine dining on top of the world at Smoke and Cedar.
That's what I'm talking about.
Bigger, better, the best.
Sorry for the interruption. A Texas woman has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for setting fire to a Maltby church. Earlier this year, Natasha Odell pleaded guilty to setting the fire that destroyed the Seattle Lutheran Church while visiting her family here in Washington back in 2023. Fire officials told KIRO 7 TV at the time that churches contain plenty of flammable materials like wooden pews, wall hangings that can fuel a fire pretty quickly.
They do spread pretty quickly.
The damage topped $3.2 million. One firefighter was injured. And we now know a former Alaska Airlines pilot is ready to plead guilty. Joseph Emerson was off duty riding in the cockpit back in October of 2023 when he tried to shut off the engines mid-flight. The plane took off from Everett, headed for San Francisco, but had to land in Portland. Here's what Emerson told CBS News when he was thinking at the time.
You're not going home. You need to wake up. And that's when I acted. And I pulled the handles that were in front of my face.
More than 80 people were on board. Emerson told police he hadn't slept in about 40 hours and thought he was dreaming. He'd also said he'd taken psychedelic mushrooms just 2 days earlier. He's expected to plead guilty in federal court and no contest in state court today. And Lakewood police have released shocking surveillance video of an alleged attempted kidnapping at a local bikini barista stand. The video shows 19-year-old Ezekiel Guerrero grabbing a barista's arm through the drive-thru window at the Ladybug Bikini Espresso back on August 18th. The barista resisted and Guerrero drove away. During an interview with detectives, he said he admitted to being drunk and high.
It was a mistake. It was honestly, I didn't mean it. Like, that's not me, I promise. Like, it was just genuinely, like, it was just the moment that I had. I wish that I didn't.
He's now facing attempted kidnapping charges and was released on bail last week. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Drive times right now. Tacoma to Seattle about 30, Marysville to Seattle 35, Everett to Bellevue 31, Redmond to Seattle about 28 right now. And for your forecast on this Friday morning, we're starting off with cloudy skies, but expect some partly sunny skies this afternoon. Highs will be close to 80. Right now, it's about 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It's Friday.
Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday, what?
One thing we know for sure about the Pacific Northwest, once the calendar hits September, fall really moves in quickly. Cooler mornings with some fog, the days are slowly getting shorter and school is back in session. That means it's time to make the most out of your weekends. The Friends of Waterfront Park in the city of Seattle are putting on a grand opening celebration of Waterfront Park this weekend. The latest improvement to the waterfront is here, and not only can folks enjoy the new 20-acre park, but live music, parades, games, and activities for all ages. There'll also be pop-up performances, art, and lots more. The party is Saturday from 11 to 9. Mopop is saying goodbye to its Nirvana exhibit this weekend after 14 years. It closes on Sunday, September 7th, but there will be a closing celebration on Saturday with t-shirt printing, button making, and plenty of other activities like film screenings, confessional videos, panels, and more. This runs from 11 to 4 on Saturday. There are still plenty of festivals going on throughout the weekend. You can learn about cultures from around the world and see traditional performances and enjoy traditional food at the Northwest Ukrainian International Festival in Bellevue on Saturday at the Bellevue Downtown Park, the Live Aloha Hawaiian Cultural Festival at the Seattle Center, and the Thai Festival at North Seattle College on Saturday. There will be a pirate landing, fireworks, and more at the Mukilteo Lighthouse Festival, which runs throughout the weekend at Lighthouse Park. The weather will still be great for getting out on the water, and you can see a whole fleet of ships and learn about what it takes to build a boat at the Wooden Boat Festival in Port Townsend. Not only can you see hundreds of ships, but you'll enjoy hands-on activities and more for you and the kids near the Northwest Maritime Center. Here's a couple of interesting ideas for things to do with the kids over the weekend. BrickCon 2025 is in Bellevue this weekend, and according to the event's website, there will be over 400 fan builders, over 1,000 models of Legos, plus absolutely amazing creations on display. You can even find hard-to-find Legos from vendors and pick up some tips and tricks from builders. BrickCon 2025 is at the Maidenbauer Center in Bellevue Saturday and Sunday. If you have kids who love big vehicles, you'll want to head to the free Touch a Truck event at the Sprinker Recreation Center. Here, kids can check out a fleet of vehicles, including a fire truck, school bus, dump trucks, and plenty more. They'll be able to explore the vehicles and even get into the driver's seat. Not a car that's started by any means, but the horn, well, it's going to be waiting to be honked. Until noon, that is. Touch a Truck runs from 10 to 1 on Saturday. It's also a loaded sports weekend with the return of the NFL and regular season action for the Seattle Seahawks. It's an early season divisional matchup for the Hawks as they take on the San Francisco 49ers at Lumen Field Sunday afternoon. It's another home game for the UW Huskies as they take on UC Davis Saturday night at Husky Stadium, and the Seattle Storm are in town tonight taking on the New York Liberty at Climate Pledge Arena. How are you spending your first weekend of September? Let me know at paulh@KIRORadio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
Coming up, we'll have some national headlines. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's a bully, but we aren't afraid of a fight. It's elusive, but our focus never fades. It's deadly, but we were born to defeat cancer. You may not have heard of us, but our work has helped millions impacted by cancer. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We are leaders in advancing breakthroughs in immunotherapy, genomics, and personalized medicine. This research saves lives. After 65 years of fighting blood cancers, we've arrived at a game-changing belief. The cures for cancer are in our blood. The drugs and treatments we've developed for blood cancers have helped people affected by many different types of cancers. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Beating cancer is in our blood. Learn more at LLS.org.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nia Hargeris with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. As parents, we want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That means helping teens take responsibility for their health as they become young adults. One way to do that is to make sure they have one-on-one time with their pediatrician. That helps them become comfortable talking about any health issue with their doctors and with you. So make sure to give your teen a voice. It's good for their health. For more on teen health, visit healthychildren.org.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. If you own firearms, it's your responsibility to make sure they're always stored safely. Hiding them in a closet or drawer is not enough. Kids know where they are. Research shows the risk of injury and death is lower if guns are stored unloaded and locked up, with the ammunition locked in a separate place. This is important when children are young, as well as when they grow into teenagers. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
CBS News Brief. The Labor Department delivers the August jobs report this morning. Bankrate analyst Mark Hamrick.
There are all kinds of headwinds for the U.S. economy right now, and that's affecting the job market. Certainly the uncertainty that's associated with tariffs and the consensus expectation that inflation pressures are continuing to brew and that we'll see prices rising between now and the end of the year.
After HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s grilling by senators of both parties, President Trump said,
if you look at what's going on in the world with health and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
Researchers say moms who pump and store breast milk should label the time it was expressed. Microbiome scientist Melissa Wortman says hormones in the milk differ through the day, affecting baby sleep.
Just to be mindful of the timing. So if it is milk that's pumped in the morning, trying to use that in the morning, and then the same thing for milk that's pumped at night.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Toscano.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, partly cloudy skies with highs in the low 80s today. Right now, it's about 58 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, a prominent UFO expert joins the show to share his thoughts on the mysterious object currently hurtling across our solar system. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Save up to 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great deals on heating and cooling, backup generators, ductless heat pumps, and more, now is the best time to buy. Plus, with 12-month interest-free financing, investing in your home comfort has never been easier or more affordable. Trust the team at Bob's Heating to keep your home warm and cozy during the chilly season. Your family's comfort is our family business.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Crawl space and attics are not places you want to spend much time, but many homes in our area can have serious issues behind the hatches. Hi, it's the owner of Crawl Pros, Richard Herron. For years, you've heard us talking about how we go where you don't want to. With our free corner-to-corner inspection to keep your crawl space and attic well insulated and free of mold and water. You've also heard about the pest control division of our company to keep your home bug and critter free. I'm excited to tell you about our newest division, Plumber Pros. Plumber Pros takes the same customer-first approach to plumbing that we do with our crawl space, attic, and pest control work. We've handpicked skilled plumbers that I know you'll feel comfortable inviting into your home. So next time you run into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO Newsradio.
I know you are extremely excited about this, Charlie. Here we go. There is a mysterious visitor in our solar system. It's called 3I Atlas. It's a chunk of something that has traveled for millions, maybe billions of years from another star system to get here.
It's only the third time we've ever seen an object like this. The first one was so bizarre, tumbling and accelerating in a way we couldn't explain, that some of Harvard's top astronomers seriously considered it might be alien technology.
Now with 3I Atlas, the speculation is starting all over again. Is it just a comet? Or is it something more?
John Gertz joins us. He's the former chairman of the board of the SETI Institute and the author of the upcoming book, Reinventing SETI. He has spent decades working on one of humanity's biggest questions. Are we alone? Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning, Charlie and Amanda. Nice to be here. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. So what is 3I Atlas? Why is it different? And what's mainstream science saying? And what could it be?
Yeah. First, quick correction. My book, Reinventing SETI, was just released, so it's out there now. Okay. Now, 3I Atlas is a comet. To be perfectly honest with you, it is not an alien spaceship. It comes from interstellar space. We're the Earth, our star, cloud of comets thought to be numbering up to 1 trillion. They're way past the planet Pluto, and occasionally they get disturbed gravitationally, either by another star coming too close to us or interactions among themselves. And we know that they can sometimes get bumped into the inner solar system, and we see them as comets when they get near to the sun. Well, the same thing happens in other star systems where their comet clouds get disturbed and comets get flung hither and thither, sometimes into the inner solar system and sometimes into interstellar space. So for a long time, astronomers have predicted that we would discover these interstellar interlopers into our own solar system, and sure enough, now we've begun seeing them. And with new advanced telescopes now coming online, we expect to see many more of them in the years to come. So not to disappoint those who favor UAPs and UFOs, but this one happens to be a comet. Now, I'm saying this from the vantage point that in my book, I argue, and this is maybe why you're talking to me, is that I argue that ET or aliens' very best strategy for making contact with humanity is not sending signals or transmitting signals from their home star system, but rather in sending robotic probes to our solar system, if you will, UAPs as they're called, or UFOs or whatever. But that would be their best strategy for a whole bunch of different reasons. Consequently, if ET exists, and if ET does want to be in some sort of contact with humankind, they're here right now in our own solar system. However, this is not that. This is a comet. And how do we know that? For one thing, number one, it fits all the parameters. It looks like a comet, but Hubble is actually now, the Hubble Space Telescope has looked at it, and it sure as hell looks like a comet. It just looks like a comet.
Are you disappointed that it's just a comet?
No, because I never would have thought it to be anything else but a comet. It's as though if when I see an airplane in the sky, am I disappointed that it's an airplane? No, I expect to see airplanes in the sky. Okay, but that doesn't diminish or take away from the fact that I also expect there to be alien robotic probes in our own solar system, maybe sitting on an asteroid, maybe on the far side of the moon, maybe in orbit, close orbit around the sun, because that's their best strategy for making contact with us, to send probes to first surveil us, to learn our languages from Sesame Street, our math from Khan Academy, all the rest from YouTube and TikTok. And once they deign to make contact with us, they could be, opening up contact in the Queen's own English, if you will, or in Mandarin or in Urdu. They will have, by then have studied us.
John Gertz is a former chairman of the SETI Institute. And John, I know you have given this consideration over the years, so this isn't aliens, but give us an idea. How do you think the world would react, maybe will react, if there ever is that contact you're describing?
With complete befuddlement. Okay. One of the main purposes of my book, Reinventing SETI, is to try to wake up mankind. The book is not written for scholars. It's written for lay people. And my idealized reader is a 30-something-year-old congressional staffer or something, because I'm trying to influence public policy. ET is here. They're in our own solar system. And even if I'm wrong and they're somewhere else and they're sending us signals, one way or the other, we are utterly unprepared for contact with aliens. By that, I mean to say, let me give you a quick hypothetical. Just let's say that I'm correct and an alien probe signals to Earth in English and says, listen, I'm here in orbit around the moon. I've brought you the great technologies and wisdoms of the universe. They're here on my version of a hard drive in my cargo bay. Come and get it. I mean, all these things need to be thought out quickly and thought out now, and there needs to be international cooperation and a body of experts needs to be formed to consider all of the contingencies. And when I say experts, I don't mean perish the thought just astronomers. I'm talking about diplomats and military specialists and emergency planners and linguists and cryptologists, behavioral biologists, evolutionary biologists, economists, legal experts, and on and on.
John, we just have a moment left here, but I want to make sure I was listening correctly. It's your assertion, your belief that UAPs, some sort of alien technology is already within our solar system and is just gathering information right now?
Correct. That is correct. They've probably been here for billions of years. They absolutely knew that we were a biological planet for billions of years. Maybe they started sending probes by us at 100 million year intervals at first, until they recognized that with the oxygen increasing in the atmosphere that we are a multicellular biology, and then maybe they put probes in orbit around us. The first rocky planets were created in our universe about 12 billion years ago, give or take a bit. Therefore, if you add on a few billion years to that, the very first civilizations may be 8 or 9 billion years old. That is one big head start. Okay, given that our Earth is only 4.55 billion years old, the aliens are just aeons and aeons more advanced than we are.
Lots to ponder, John. I wish we had more time.
Well, Charlie and Amanda, it's been a real pleasure.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, partly cloudy skies to start off our day. Highs will be warming up to the 80s. Right now, it's about 57 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl, one of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
Jim Singletary here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we're not afraid to tell you no. Looking for a roofing company that'll do cheap, fast work and just cover up the problem? No, that's not us. Want a quick quote without a real inspection? Nope. Just want a price without knowing your options? Not happening. Look, we don't want to tell you no, but if saying yes means cut corners, bad results, or wasted money, we won't do it. Period. And here's the deal. Seattle gets 150 rainy days a year. That's not wait and see weather, it's call RoofSmart now weather. We say no to leaky roofs, sloppy work, and bad estimates, and yes to thorough inspections, accurate quotes, and top quality work that actually lasts. So if you want an honest roofer who's not afraid to say no to bad work, call RoofSmart today at 206-487-4877 or visit GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
My name is Carlos, and I'm a Cub Scout. I'm here to talk to you today about becoming a scout like me. Cub Scouts get badges for doing fun activities, and we make friends. Scouts go camping, climbing, and fishing, and swimming together. We play sports and go to parades. Scouts also help people and become the best versions of themselves. Visit bascout.org to find a pack near you, get any questions answered, and sign up for Cub Scouts online.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
He flew fighter jets in 2 wars and taught you how to drive a car. He fed everyone on the block, but never shared his secret recipes. And every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Labor Department is flashing a new warning sign in brand new numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The government said the economy produced 22,000 jobs. That's lower than the 75,000 expected. The previous 2 months were revised lower by 21,000. Of course, that's much lower than the more than 250,000 of revisions we had in the July report.
The jobless rate ticked up 2 last month.
The unemployment rate increased to 4.3%. That's the highest since the fall of 2021.
The numbers will figure into the Fed's decision on whether to finally lower interest rates, something President Trump's been calling for months now. The Fed is scheduled to meet later this month. Don't call it the Defense Department for much longer. CBS's Linda Kenyon says Mr. Trump's expected to sign a directive today, reverting back to a name that stood for 150 years.
The executive order renames the Department of Defense as the Department of War as a secondary title. President Trump's order also authorizes the Secretary of Defense, the Department of Defense, and all officials to use secondary titles like Secretary of War and Deputy Secretary of War in all official correspondence.
It became the Defense Department shortly after World War II. The District of Columbia is taking the Trump administration to court over the president's order that sent National Guard troops into the nation's capital. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
This goes into the D.C. federal court, and it will be the U.S. Department of Justice defending this lawsuit. So you will have the Washington, D.C. Attorney General versus the United States Attorney General in court.
New York State will try to get around the FDA's new COVID vaccine restrictions.
Governor Kathy Hochul plans to sign an executive order that would allow pharmacists to vaccinate anyone over 3 years old without a prescription. The FDA has only authorized COVID shots for people 65 and older or people who have underlying medical conditions. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was criticized for that new policy during a Senate hearing yesterday.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Senator Cantwell. You're wrong. California, Oregon, and Washington are forming an alliance to issue their own vaccine recommendations. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A worst-case scenario becomes a reality in the NBA.
Caitlin looks like she's in pain after that pass.
That's the WNBA's Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark announcing on X she'll miss the rest of the season because of injuries. Clark hasn't played since July 15th. In her X post, she says disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how she's feeling. Dow futures down 33. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
It's 6:03 on a Friday morning. Let's check traffic. Here's Lori Hardy in for Chris Sullivan this morning.
Well, good morning. Traffic is brought to you by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. We've got a pretty Friday light commute. Everett to Seattle, just 25 minutes. Everett to Bellevue, 26, so I'm not seeing any delays yet. Renton to Bellevue, that's about a 12-minute drive. Federal Way to Seattle, 23. Now, if you're heading from Redmond to Seattle, 14 minutes on 520. You've got a 3-minute delay if you take I-90. Cage-free eggs are good, free-range are better, and mobile pasture-raised eggs are the best. Choose the best for your family, locally fresh Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. A staffing crisis at the Pierce County Sheriff's Office may be amplified as a neighboring agency poaches officers with hefty signing bonuses.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake is live to explain.
Yeah, this is stressful for a department that's already understaffed. We spoke with Pierce County Sheriff's Public Information Officer Carly Capetto. She confirms that 2 of her department's deputies resigned recently to take jobs with other law enforcement agencies, and she acknowledges rumors that as many as 14 other deputies have offers to leave her department. And she admits it does not help that the Tacoma Police Department is offering an attractive incentive.
The Tacoma Police Department is offering a very attractive package right now. It's essentially a $50,000 hiring bonus, probably one of the highest hiring bonuses any police agency in Washington State has seen.
That's right, $50,000 to take your talents downtown. Capetto tells us this offer is especially tempting for younger deputies without as much time invested at Pierce County. And the offer comes at a time when her department already has almost 24 vacancies.
Let's just say if we lost 10 deputies, that would significantly impact our operations.
So far, Capetto says Pierce County has not seen a mass exodus of officers, and she hopes it won't. But no matter what, she says her department is used to working harder with fewer resources and will do the best they can, in any case, to maintain public safety.
Corwin, thank you. It's 6:05 now. Level 3 Get Out Now evacuations are in effect for people who live about 25 miles northeast of Leavenworth.
Jody Schiffman at the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center says the fire sparked by lightning Sunday has surged to more than 6,200 acres.
Those hot temperatures and low humidities cause more extreme fire behavior.
The Sugarloaf wildfire is south of the Pumice fire, which is burning on more than 3,500 acres. The Martin fire has torched 132 acres in central Washington.
And because of those ongoing wildfires, Seattle is seeing hazy skies, but the worst of the smoke still remains east of the Cascades. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay has that part of the story.
Beth Friedman with the Washington Department of Ecology says all counties in central and eastern Washington are under air quality alerts.
Right now, most of central and eastern Washington, it's ranging anywhere between moderate air to very unhealthy air quality.
That's going to be the case for at least the next few days. There won't be enough wind to dissipate the smoke. She says here in the Seattle area, you may notice a red sun or some light smoke, but there are no air quality alerts for the Puget Sound region. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's Friday, Amanda.
No, it's Blue Friday, Charlie.
Blue Friday.
Nice jersey.
Thank you. And nice Seahawks hoodie.
It's my Aloha shirt. Well, there's a hoodie under it.
Under it. Okay.
This is what I got at training camp.
You got to check it out on the YouTube live feed or My Northwest. We're both in our gear. I think it's appropriate.
I'm so excited.
Hope springs eternal for this season.
Does.
And by the way, we'll have the Mike McDonald preview. That is coming up at 8:15 as we check in with Season 2 head coach.
Yep. Sully's still on the sick list.
Sully's not feeling well.
David still on the sick list.
So we have able-bodied replacements. Jonah Oakleaf is here as our producer, and Lori Hardy is going to be doing traffic for us all morning.
Lori Hardy?
That Lori Hardy.
She brought me flowers this morning. Thank you, Lori. That was so kind. You made my day.
Oh, you're welcome.
And thanks for waking up with us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay. And, of course, Nick Krasha is running the board this morning. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And coming up this hour of the show, former congressman from Washington's 8th District shares his perspective on tackling the homelessness crisis and how his personal journey helped shape his approach to policy.
Also, Katrina stops by with this week's parenting feature. Moms are often the family's behind-the-scenes powerhouse, but it's taking a toll.
Yes, it is. And she'll tell us more. It's now 6:08. Pierce County deputies are called to a McDonald's for a man asleep behind the wheel in the drive-thru, and it quickly turned into a much larger investigation.
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the story.
It happened September 1st at the McDonald's at Portland Avenue East and 112th Street East. Inside the man's car, deputies found a large quantity of fentanyl, cocaine, meth, cash, 2 loaded handguns, and a 3D printed assault-style rifle with a suppressor. Pierce County Sheriff's Deputy Carly Capetto.
They have no serial numbers on them. There's no way to track these firearms, where they came from, who built them.
The 39-year-old man is expected to be charged with drug distribution. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A Renton man is now facing serious charges tied to break-ins at celebrity homes. King County prosecutors say Patrick Maisonette targeted pro athletes and rapper Macklemore. The burglaries happened between February and June. Maisonette was arrested last month by a SWAT team in Renton. He's now charged with robbery and burglary, including being the getaway driver in a $30,000 watch heist. He's the second person charged in the break-ins at the homes of Mariners pitcher Luis Castillo, Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell, and former Seahawk Richard Sherman. Masonette is being held on more than $2.2 million bail.
Seattle police say a man accidentally shot himself in the chest early yesterday morning on Capitol Hill. Happened just before 2 at the street near 10th and Pike. SPD says the man was waving a gun after some sort of altercation. 3 men tried to disarm him when he shot himself. Here's SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
They did not know him. There was no type of relationship. It was an altercation on the street, and it just turned into this gun violence.
The man is in serious condition and is expected to be jailed and charged with felony harassment.
Lakewood police have now released video of an alleged attempted kidnapping at a bikini barista stand. The video shows a man lunging through the drive-through window at Ladybug Bikini Espresso, grabbing the barista's arm and trying to pull her out. During an interview with detectives obtained by KIRO 7 TV, the suspect, 19-year-old Ezekiel Guerrero, described what happened.
I remember reaching vividly, grabbed her. She said, help. The moment she said help, I let go, and I got out of there. I didn't escalate.
He also told police he was intoxicated, claimed it was a mistake. Guerrero faces attempted kidnapping charges and has since been released on bail.
U.S. Department of Homeland Security is pushing back against criticism over the detention of Mohammed Chaudhry. He is the husband of congressional candidate Melissa Chaudhry and a self-described veteran. He was taken into ICE custody last month during a citizenship interview in Tukwila. DHS says he has a long criminal history, including fraud charges in Australia and false claims to U.S. agencies. They say he lied to get a green card and collected nearly $450,000 in veterans benefits. Melissa Chaudhry says the detention is a betrayal and says her husband served honorably. She says he was injured during military training and is now being held in poor conditions.
A new state report says grocery prices could jump 16% over the next 2 years if President Trump's tariffs go through. Governor Bob Ferguson shared the findings yesterday at a food bank in Seattle. He says the tariffs could cost Washington $2.2 billion in lost revenue and nearly 32,000 jobs. Republicans say Ferguson is using the report to deflect from his own budget problems. State Representative Jim Walsh calls it a gaslighting operation and says Ferguson raised taxes, cut services, and is now blaming Trump. He argues the report exaggerates worst-case scenarios to scare voters. Ferguson insists the numbers are real and says the tariffs are illegal.
Wild scene at the Sounders match, raising concerns about World Cup security in Seattle. Fox 13 Seattle reports fans brawled outside Lumen Field after the Sounders beat Inter Miami. Video shows people throwing traffic cones, trash cans, and punches. It started after Miami star Luis Suarez spit on a Sounders staffer during the game. Seattle police say no one filed a report, so no investigation was opened. But officials are taking notice, with the city set to host 6 World Cup matches in 2026. FIFA security chief in Seattle is former police chief John Diaz. He says they're working with dozens of agencies to prepare for massive crowds.
It's now 6:12 and time for a check on the weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. It's going to be a pretty nice day. We'll see partly cloudy skies, much like yesterday, a high of 81. Cooling off to the mid-70s for Saturday. Scattered thunderstorms a possibility. Some peaks of sunshine, too. And then on Sunday, look for scattered showers and a high of only 72 for the bulk of next week. It looks like we're going to stay around 70. Right now, it's cloudy and 61 in the city.
Get out in the orange sunshine this afternoon,
right?
Huh? It's 6:13, and we head over to the traffic desk, and Lori is here and checking the roads.
And traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. We're seeing a really easy Friday drive for the most part. Bellevue to Renton is an easy 11-minute drive. Bellevue to Seattle, if you take 520, it's a 14-minute drive. I-90, you're going to see just a little 3-minute delay. Auburn to Renton, that's just a 12-minute drive. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
It's now 6:13, while Travis Kelce has put a ring on it in more ways than one. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard is here to explain.
Ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs game against the Los Angeles Chargers, the 3-time Super Bowl winner made reporters laugh when asked about what has changed in his life since announcing his engagement to none other than Taylor Swift.
I got one more ring from it. I would say... 2 if we're counting the first Super Bowl. I would say, I've Ever since I've been dating Taylor, life has been fun. You know, it's been exciting. Obviously, a lot more eyes, and I accept that. But it's just, I'm living life.
The Chiefs are in Brazil for today's game against the Chargers.
Thanks, Katrina. 6:14 now.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, it's a question we have asked over and over. How to move forward on homelessness in this city. Former Congressman of Washington's 8th District, Dave Reichert, shared a few thoughts with Seattle Red 770 AM, our sister station. Congressman, nice to have you with us this morning.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
So you have seen a lot in your decades of service. What makes the current homelessness crisis feel so personal to you?
Well, homelessness is so personal to me for a couple of main reasons. One, I had some experience with that when I was growing up. I ran away from home in my senior year of high school and lived in my car. Second, I during the Green River case, of course, witnessed a lot of our young girls, young women who were had left home, being victimized at home for a number of reasons, and living on the street and being taken advantage of, victimized on the streets, put into human trafficking, abusing drugs and alcohol. And then third, I think I'll add, during my year and a half of campaign for governor, I had the opportunity to work with a number of people on the street and visit the streets of Seattle and witness the current homelessness problem firsthand. And after the campaign, I was asked to re-engage with the community and help build an advisory group and a coalition to address the homeless problem. People need help, and the current programs that are being applied, harm reduction, is not working. And so I think really the answers lie in identifying really why people are on the street. They are helpless, they are homeless, they're hopeless. And we need to address the helplessness and the hopelessness first. We need to move them into treatment and then look at providing them with permanent housing.
What do you think law enforcement's role in all of that is?
We need to arrest people who are selling those drugs on the street. And a lot of what I found over my career is that sometimes when drug users hit rock bottom, it's when the handcuffs are placed on them and they're taken to jail and they realize, you know what, I need to change my life. And so there's a couple of roles. One, arrest the people who are selling the drugs, provide protection to those people living in those communities that are experiencing homelessness and drug use. And along with that comes crime, robberies and murders and assaults occurring all the time. The cost of and toll of human trafficking, of course, is something that really touches my heart. And I just can't stop thinking, help but think about the victims in the Green River case, and that in our day today, from the 1980s today, we have not improved our approach to this at all. We have made some progress back in the late 80s and early 90s, but all of those ideas and thoughts and solutions have been thrown out the window. We really need to start with caring for people and walking them through the whole process of care. So we need to take people in, but we also need to hold them accountable and responsible. And it's not mean to hold people accountable for their actions. It actually is helping them, bring them through the tragedy that they're living right now, and it helps them to get to a place where they can feel good about themselves. It's about dignity, and it's about providing success for them and letting them know that they're loved, people care for them, we're going to be here for you. And sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 times for people to get through this addiction.
And with former Congressman of Washington's 8th District, Dave Reichert, you have seen firsthand how vulnerable people can fall through the cracks. What policies or programs do you think could make the biggest difference right now and keep people from ending up on the streets in the first place?
Yeah, there are so many things that we can do. I think really it starts with the family, and it starts with our educational system and educating young people about the dangers of using drugs and about the dangers of street life. But when you talk about how we're going to fix this problem, they've got to start with treatment. We've got to start with counseling. We've got to do job training, and we've got to do transitional housing. And until we realize that the people are not going to change by themselves, but they need the community to surround them, we are not going to be successful at this. And one of the ways that we can do this is by reaching out to the private sector. And I really strongly believe in private sector public partnerships. And the organization that we're putting together right now, we've got a number of businesses, private sector people, faith-based community, just a list of people that are coming together. The Union Gospel Mission, Lakeside Milam, Hope and Chance, We Heart Seattle, Rebel X, Mike Dunn Lumber, just to name a few. Over 200 faith-based organizations now coming together. So we've got this advisory group. We're going to be coming out here soon, making some announcements as to what our specific goals are in reducing homelessness. But the goal here is to really focus on treatment and putting our dollars toward treatment and really help people not to make it easier for them to use drugs, but to show them that there is a better way in life.
That's former King County Sheriff and 8th District Congressman Dave Reichert. I did ask if there was a timeline for the group's announcements he mentioned. He said he would keep us posted. You can read the piece at seattlered.com.
6:21 now. Tesla's board wants to give CEO Elon Musk more pay and more power.
The board is asking investors to approve a pay package that would award Musk up to 423 million more shares if Tesla hits certain milestones over the next decade. His stake could grow to $1 trillion, giving him control of 12% of the company and more voting power. The chairman of Tesla's board says retaining and incentivizing Elon is fundamental to Tesla becoming the most valuable company in history. The board will also ask shareholders whether Tesla should invest billions in Musk's AI research and development company, XAI. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
New York State Forest Rangers saved a group of hikers who were too high on mushrooms.
Talk about a bad trip. The 4 hikers got lost in the Slide Mountain Wilderness in Ulster County. They sent a 911 satellite text to forest rangers saying they had ingested mushrooms and one of them was experiencing a debilitating high. Rangers found the hikers and guided them down the trail to a waiting ambulance where they were checked out. Along the way, one of the hikers had dropped their car keys. The next day, a ranger hiked back up the trail and miraculously found the keys under a log and some tall ferns. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Tall ferns.
Make some good choices, people.
Yeah, these were not good choices.
No.
Okay, let's get a check on traffic. Lori is in for Chris Sullivan this morning.
And traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. We're really seeing mostly a pretty easy commute. Linwood to Seattle, just 14 minutes now. Everett to Bellevue is a 27-minute drive. From Renton to Bellevue, you're going to have about a 1-minute delay. And we are seeing both directions of 405 right about 169. Just a brief slowdown again in both directions, but it's only going to maybe cost you about a minute. Federal Way to Seattle, 26 minutes. And let's see, Redmond to Seattle, if you take 520, it's a 14-minute drive, and you're still going to see the I-93-minute delay if you are heading from Redmond to Seattle on I-90. With over 20 Puget Sound communities, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
It's going to be a nice way to wrap up the week. We're going to see some sunshine, just a few clouds, and 81 for today, much like yesterday. And then tomorrow might see scattered thunderstorms, cooling up to about 75. Some peaks of sunshine, too. A little bit breezy, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then on Sunday, scattered showers, only 72, 71 as you head back to work on Monday. Same deal on Tuesday. Scattered showers in the forecast. Right now, it's cloudy and 61.
Well, it's a softer than expected jobs report. We'll have more on that coming up in the opening bell report, plus more of the day's top local stories. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Man wide open, touchdown
Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer zero down, zero interest, and zero payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you happy with how you feel these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, And it works. Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit LongevityMedicalClinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Molly Shen and the Davis Law Group for Move with MAD, September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Move with MAD raises awareness and funds to help end drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. Every step taken and every dollar raised can help keep our families and communities safe. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com. Move with MAD, September 13th on the UW campus. Register today.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Well, the Seahawks renew their bitter rivalry with the San Francisco 49ers Sunday at Lumen Field in the season opener for both teams.
And how better to help maintain order? We'll have Seattle police officers patrolling the stands wearing 49ers jerseys.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake is here. What's this all about?
Well, this is the home team taking steps to ensure that fans of both teams stay in line. Now, imagine a Hawks fan harassing a Niners fan, pouring popcorn over their head or something like that, only to find that Niners fan is really a Seattle cop. They'd be in trouble, wouldn't they? Our sources tell us the move is inspired by evidence from the ticket resale market that Lumen Field is about to be invaded by hordes of wild-eyed Niners faithful and that they could even outnumber the 12s.
I find that hard to believe, but it's not surprising because 49er fans do travel.
Do you recognize that voice?
I think it's an old colleague.
That's Ryan Harris. He's a former Seattle radio personality. He now lives in the Bay Area where he grew up, and he grew up a Niners fan. And he admits the San Francisco fan base can be a handful, only Ryan is a little bit more blunt about it.
I'll say they're thugs. 49ers fans are thugs. You go to the game and you have to watch yourself even just trying to use the restroom because there's always fights and people getting beat up and hurt. It's a really rough and sometimes dangerous crowd.
Yeah. Fun.
He calls the move to kid out cops in Niners gear brilliant. He says is exactly what's needed to help make the game a better experience for fans who are perhaps not thugs.
Maybe we should have Ryan for sound bites in every story.
Maybe we should have Ryan enforce the law there at Lumen Field.
All right, we'll get right on top of that. Thank you, Corwin. 6:32 now here on Seattle's Morning News. A former Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to shut down a plane mid-flight is ready to plead guilty.
Joseph Emerson was off duty in the cockpit in October 2023 when he grabbed two red handles. In a recent interview with CBS, Emerson described why he did it.
In the dream, in this dissociative state, I thought they were going to wake me up. It didn't wake me up, right? I was in reality. I know that now. It's the most consequential 3 seconds of my life.
Emerson told police he hadn't slept in days and thought he was dreaming. He also said he had taken psychedelic mushrooms. His attorney says Emerson will plead guilty today to a federal charge and no contest to a state charge.
The sky was orange yesterday in Seattle, but central and eastern Washington are dealing with a lot more wildfire smoke right now. Beth Friedman with the Washington Department of Ecology says air quality there ranges from moderate to very unhealthy.
We're not seeing an increase in winds or a big westerly, onshore flow to really push that smoke out for at least a few days.
All counties in central and eastern Washington are under air quality alerts.
Just ahead of our traffic, one more note on the Seahawks. Of course, home opener we mentioned is Sunday at Lumen Field. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors has a plan to get you there safe and sound.
Leave the worry of driving and parking behind and hop aboard the Sounder train. The Sounder S-Line has 2 trips departing the south end from Lakewood, the first at 9:51 a.m., the second at 11:07 a.m. From the north end, it's the N line, but there's only 1 trip departing Everett at 10:45 a.m. Special Sounder service is in addition to the regular Link Light Rail, ST Express, and King County Metro to and from Lumen Field. Head to soundtransit.org for more information and to see the full schedule. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Well, now let's get a check on traffic. Lori is in for Sully this morning. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning. Love your jersey, Charlie.
Thank you.
Renton to Seattle is a 16-minute drive right now. That's about a 1-minute delay if you're heading from Everett to Seattle. 27 minutes in Bellevue. That's just under a half an hour at 29 minutes. Tacoma to Federal Way, you're going to take about 11 minutes. And Federal Way to Bellevue, 35 minutes. We are seeing a backup now, Sumner to Auburn. And then once you hit, that's on 167. Once you hit Auburn, it's a speed limit drive into Renton. That's where you're going to see a little bit of a jam up both directions of 405 there, just off of 169. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And our forecast, nice day to wrap up the week. 81 with a mix of sun and clouds for today. And then tomorrow, things might look a little bit different. The threat of some scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. 75 for tomorrow. A little cooler with scattered showers on Sunday. Still some sun breaks. And it looks like a mix of sun breaks and showers for Monday and Tuesday as well. Right now it's 61 and cloudy in Seattle.
6:35, it's time for the opening bell report. The job market hit a speed bump in August. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. added just 22,000 jobs last month, way below what economists expected, about 75,000. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says unemployment is on the rise while pay held steady.
The unemployment rate increased to 4.3%. That's the highest since the fall of 2021. Wages were up by 3.7%, matching the previous month.
She says this latest data may push the Fed to cut interest rates.
This is a report that is consistent with a labor market that is weakening, and that likely means that the Federal Reserve is probably going to cut interest rates at its next meeting in about 10 days. We're expecting a 0.25-point rate cut, but Chair Powell is probably going to underscore that there could be some price pressures that are building through the economy, and the Fed's going to watch that closely.
A new analysis by the state finds more than 30,000 jobs in Washington could be lost by 2029 due to tariffs. The Office of Financial Management published the report. Governor Bob Ferguson says it's also found grocery prices could rise by more than 15% over the next 4 years.
We also predict a 7% spike in the cost of clothes and shoes in the next year. A 14% increase in natural gas prices, which of course push up utility bills.
The same report shows state revenues may drop by $2.2 billion by 2029, with trade-dependent communities feeling the brunt. State Republican Party Chair Jim Walsh calls it a gaslighting operation and says Ferguson raised taxes, cut services, and is now blaming Trump. He argues the report exaggerates worst-case scenarios to scare voters. Ferguson insists the numbers are real and says the tariffs are illegal.
Last night, President Trump hosted a dinner at the White House with tech CEOs and other business and political leaders to discuss artificial intelligence and investments in the U.S. Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, Apple's Tim Cook, and OpenAI founder Sam Altman were among the invitees. Here, President Trump asked Zuckerberg about his planned investment in the U.S.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh, gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S.
Bill Gates spoke at the dinner and said he and the president were collaborating on ways to improve public health.
The president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds.
Elon Musk, a former senior Trump advisor who led the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, wasn't at the dinner. Musk posted on X that he was invited but could not attend.
A former employee at Sparkman Cellars in Woodinville has admitted to a costly act of revenge. King TV reports Mark Griswold pleaded guilty to draining thousands of gallons of wine from the family-owned winery last year. Surveillance video showed Griswold used an old access code to sneak in, open 2 tanks, and release more than 2,000 gallons of wine. Damage totaled around $300,000. Griswold was sentenced to pay nearly $50,000 in restitution. Prosecutors say he was angry about his pay and quit during harvest season. Griswold gave no explanation in court, just said guilty.
Spirit Airlines slashing service to some U.S. cities, including Portland.
Spirit Airlines is cutting routes to nearly a dozen cities, including 4 cities in California, starting next month. The budget air carrier is also nixing plans to begin service in Macon, Georgia. The announcement came less than a week after Spirit announced it was filing for bankruptcy for the second time this year due to rising operating costs and debt. In a statement to CBS News, Spirit says customers affected by the change in service will be notified of their options, including a refund.
That's Jesse Mitchell reporting.
And we've told you Alaska Airlines is headed to Iceland. The nonstop route from Seattle to Reykjavik will take off next May. The airline just announced the start date is officially May 28th, 2026. One of 2 new international flights launching from SeaTac next spring. Rome is the other.
2026 seems like it's such a far-off time.
No. It's 3 months away.
Oh, wow. This year is just flying by. Okay, now let's look at Wall Street. Investors seem to be reacting positively to the news of the soft unemployment or employment gains. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 98 points. S&P 500 is up 25, and NASDAQ is up 110.
Well, back to school means 10,000 buses, more than 1 million students, and 60,000 teachers all hitting the roads. Even if you don't have kids, your morning routine just got a wake-up call. With KIRO 7, pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes, you'll be totally prepared and know what to expect before it hits, from breaking news to changing skies and slowdowns you wouldn't see coming. KIRO 7 News in your morning has your back to school. Watch weekdays 4:30 to 7 a.m. only on KIRO 7 TV.
Okay, Lori, what's coming up in traffic?
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're having a Friday light, so nothing really big. In fact, some of our travel times are better than usual.
Okay, we'll check in just a moment on Seattle's Morning News.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital, Common Sense Lending.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
6:43 now, and Lori is watching this Friday morning traffic for us.
Yeah, not much to really watch. Things are actually looking better than usual in some areas. Now, Linwood to Seattle is a 15-minute drive. Bellevue, Linwood to Bellevue, 28 minutes, and that's actually a whole minute faster than usual. Renton to Bellevue, a 3-minute delay. Federal Way to Seattle is going to take you 32 minutes, and to Bellevue, it's a 36-minute drive. Now, we are seeing a little bit of a backup, Sumner to Auburn, but once you hit State Route 18, it's a speed limit drive all the way to Renton. Redmond to Seattle is still 14 minutes if you take 520, and if you take I-90, it's actually better, 18 minutes, no delay. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And our forecast, it's going to be a nice Friday afternoon. 81 our high for today, mix of clouds and sun. And then tomorrow could see a few scattered thunderstorms as we start to cool off. 75 tomorrow, only 72 on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a mix of showers and sun breaks and highs around 70. Right now it's 61 in Seattle.
6:44 now. The White Lotus has picked a setting for its 4th season, and KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard is trying to pinpoint it.
Well, People magazine say it's France. As far as where in France, we know the possibilities by where the Four Seasons hotel chain has its locations. The company's luxurious resorts double as a fictional White Lotus chain.
The goal is to disappear behind our masks as pleasant, interchangeable helpers. It's tropical kabuki.
Aloha. A happy beer. We're on our honeymoon.
You're such valued guests. Welcome to the White Lotus.
So one French Four Seasons is on the Riviera, another is on the Alps, with the third in Paris. So far, the White Lotus stories have taken place in lush locations like Maui, Sicily, and Thailand. So maybe this time enchanting Paris or the dramatic Alps.
Okay.
That show is one of my guilty pleasures. It's really funny.
My wife loves it.
It's good.
Haven't seen an episode, but my wife loves it.
Yeah, my sister-in-law loves it as well. I don't have the time.
Yeah. No one can stay up that late. And you should stick around, Katrina, because you have your weekly parenting feature coming up.
That's right.
Okay, we'll have that coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
Well, good Friday morning, 6:48 now. New research is shedding light on the hidden burden many women carry. Women are often the planner, the scheduler, the behind-the-scenes engine, and it's taking a toll.
KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard has more on a burden many mothers carry.
So this recent study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family reveals that women shoulder 71% of family-related tasks. This includes things like planning doctor's appointments and organizing school schedules. Women say these are not just chores, they're the mental load that keeps families functioning, and they're often overlooked. Many women, including this mother, are turning to social media to talk about this invisible labor and the real struggles they face.
Whenever I talk about the mental load, men will say things like, oh, that's not real. It's made up. It's just women overcomplicating things. It's just your anxiety. But when I ask women, the overwhelming majority of them will say that the mental load is crippling. It is exhausting. It is never ending, that their brain never turns off.
Psychiatrist Dr. Sue Varma spoke with CBS to unpack the emotional toll this imbalance creates.
Not only the cognitive overload, but the emotional overload, right? Because a child is often turning to the mother, in most cases, assuming this heterosexual couple, for comfort, right? And the school is calling the mother when the child is sick, and who's taking time off from work. So all of it comes back down to the woman often.
She explains that this toll can lead to chronic stress, burnout, and even resentment in relationships. Dr. Varma recommends couples sit down and actually map out their responsibilities.
Coming to the table and saying, what can I own? What responsibility, right? So the sports, the musical equipment, the scheduling, can I be a part of it? Can I do the pickup? Rolling your sleeves up, getting there at the dishes and unloading them before you need to be asked.
She even suggests using a shared calendar, apps, or even weekly check-ins to make the invisible visible. She also encourages partners to validate each other's contributions and recognize that mental and emotional labor is just as real as physical tasks.
Women, when they don't talk about their feelings, we found in a study of a few 100,000 women, they looked at they're 4 times more likely to die during the course of this study by not expressing their feelings. So you simply showing up and saying, talk to me about what you're experiencing, which is stressed out, burdened, unseen, undervalued, underappreciated, especially for the moms whose predominant role is caregiving. They feel as if just because I'm not bringing in income, you don't see me, you don't value me.
So the takeaway as families navigate busy lives, sharing the load is not just practical, it can be really powerful.
It is remarkable to me. I watch my wife. I'm sure you, Katrina, and Manda as moms, you're working full-time jobs, and then you get home and there's no rest. I mean, kids glom onto mom.
Yes, they do.
They sure do.
Which is wonderful. It's wonderful.
It is. But
I agree with everything you said. I mean, you have to have open communication about who's doing what.
Yes, I think that especially for full-time working mothers, it's a privilege to have a job and also a privilege to be a mom. But there is also that mental switch, like, okay, I'm in my corporate job, I'm working, but now I'm home and my other job starts. And that means, okay, what time am I getting the kids? Who has soccer practice? Who has gymnastics? Who has dance? And I mean, I have toddlers and it's already going.
It's a lot.
But I think
toddlers.
The beauty is, if you have a partner who's also strong, talk about what your strengths and weaknesses are. Naturally, I love planning. I love organizing. That started from wedding planning. So I know those play into my strengths. But my husband, all the finances, that's him. So it's just like, well, I don't worry about that because that's his job. So if you are really clear and communicating what works best for you and your family, you can kind of circumvent this undue stress.
I find it's also helpful to do what I'm told.
And bring flowers once a week.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, just speaking of parenting stuff, this is my favorite time of year on Facebook, where parents
Everyone's
are
back
posting
to school pictures.
Yeah, they're back to school pictures. Yeah, I love it. I the past couple days I've just been scrolling through, seeing all my friends'
How many
kids.
times have you said, "Oh, how did he get so big?"
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah, for sure. Katrina, love these features. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
6:53 now. Let's check in with Lori. She is in for Sully and looking at traffic this Friday light.
And traffic is brought to you by Seattle Seahawks. Renton to Seattle right now, 21 minutes. So that's a 1 minute delay. And Everett to Seattle, just 27 minutes. Now, if you're heading to Bellevue, that's under a half an hour, still just 29 minutes. Now, westbound US 2, as usual, is backed up from 20th all the way to I-5. I have to say, people are really great about letting you merge on US 2. I've just noticed that. Tacoma to Federal Way is a 12-minute drive, and Federal Way to Bellevue, 38 minutes. Sumner, you're still going to be rolling slow all the way to State Route 18, and then from 18 on, it's a speed limit drive into Renton. A little bit of a jam up there, both directions of 405, right in the S curves. I'm Lori. KIRO real-time traffic. 12 tickets for Seattle Seahawks 50th season are on sale now. Let's pack Lumen Field, bring the noise, and make history together this season. Secure your seats today at Seahawks.com/tickets.
Our forecast, a nice Friday on tap. We're going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine, and 81 today to wrap up the week. And then we're going to cool off for a little bit. 75 tomorrow, chance of scattered thunderstorms. And then on Sunday, scattered showers, only 72. Either side of 70 for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with showers at times and some sun breaks too. Right now in Seattle, we have mostly cloudy skies at 61.
You got to get out this afternoon and enjoy that orange sunshine, because this is the warmest it's probably going to be for the rest of the year.
It's still a little smoky.
Yeah,
I hate to say
little
it's
smoky.
gorgeous.
Oh no,
it's beautiful.
I had ash falling on me yesterday.
Oh, goodness.
It was nasty.
Yeah.
But it's still warm out, so you got to enjoy that. All right, coming up on the next hour of the show, we're going to check in with CBS News. We have some disappointing jobs numbers, and we'll also have the Rick Riz Show coming up. You are listening to Seattle's Morning News right here on KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO Newsradio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You pledged your life to serve. You made sacrifices, lost loved ones. At VA, we don't see the falls you've taken. We see the 1,000 times you've stood back up. We embrace your uniqueness and won't trivialize your hardships. We can't promise to heal all wounds or wash away all trauma, but we do see a path forward. We see all veterans. We see you. Learn how treatment works and recovery is possible. Visit MakeTheConnection.net.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Molly Shen and the Davis Law Group for Move with MAD, September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Move with MAD raises awareness and funds to help end drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. Every step taken and every dollar raised can help keep our families and communities safe. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com. Move with MAD, September 13th on the UW campus. Register today.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A new sign hiring has slowed way down. The Labor Department says employers only added 22,000 jobs in August compared to 73,000 the month before. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
It's 4 months of slowdown. It is not great, but we are not in a recession.
The report also shows employers shed jobs in June for the first time since the pandemic. Economists predicting the Fed will act soon. Kelly O'Grady.
We are expecting an interest rate cut come that meeting mid-September.
That's something President Trump's been urging. Unemployment rose last month from 4.2 to 4.3%. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett has a new book out, and she's spoken to CBS News in her first TV interview since she joined the court. Senior correspondent Nora O'Donnell asked about the court's independence from politics.
Does the reputation of the Supreme Court matter to you?
I want people to have trust in the court, and that's why I wrote this book, frankly. I wanted people to understand how the court works. I wanted them to understand how we get our cases and how we go about making our decisions, because the court belongs to every American. And I want Americans to feel like they have a stake in the court and they understand what the court does, because what the court does is not the same kind of work that Congress does, and it's not the same kind of work that the president does. Those are the political branches. The court is not one of the political branches.
You can hear the full conversation on CBS Sunday morning. New York State Forest Rangers saved the day when some hikers got too high on mushrooms.
Talk about a bad trip. The 4 hikers got lost in the Slide Mountain Wilderness in Ulster County. They sent a 911 satellite text to forest rangers saying they had ingested mushrooms and one of them was experiencing a debilitating high. Rangers found the hikers and guided them down the trail to a waiting ambulance where they were checked out. Along the way, one of the hikers had dropped their car keys. The next day, a ranger hiked back up the trail and miraculously found the keys under a log and some tall ferns. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
When you eat your meals may help you live longer. CBS's Michael George.
A study out of Turkey showed as people get older, they tend to eat breakfast later, and a later breakfast time was associated with depression, fatigue, and even higher rates of death. The impact was especially significant for older people. Researchers say this adds new meaning to the saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
At the U.S. Open, women's final all set.
It's Amanda Anisimova in her second straight Grand Slam final of the season.
Anisimova will take on Arina Sabalenka tomorrow. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
7:03 now, and Chris Sullivan is off today, so we check in with Lori at the traffic desk.
And good morning. Traffic is brought to you by KIRO Radio Rundown. Tacoma to Federal Way, a 3-minute delay. Federal Way to Seattle right now, 2 minutes actually faster than usual at 33 minutes. Federal Way to Bellevue is a 35-minute drive, which is 3 minutes faster. Renton to Seattle and Bellevue both about a 2-minute delay. Linwood to Seattle is a 17-minute drive. And if you're heading to Bellevue, also 17 minutes, 3 minutes faster than usual. Redmond to Seattle still holding at 14 minutes, 5:20, and 18 minutes on I-90. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
It's 7:04. All right, imagine this. You've got a steady job working for Spacely Sprockets, but their salary, it's not so good. Then you get a better offer from Cogswell Cogs.
Is this a Jetsons reference?
I believe it is.
So to sweeten the deal, Cogswell throws in a $50,000 signing bonus. What would you do?
Well, Corwin Haig is here to tell us this very scenario seems to be playing out between Tacoma Police and the Pierce County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, and not to make light of a difficult situation, there certainly are a lot of moving parts in this story. But the bottom line here is that Tacoma PD apparently has already lured away a couple of Pierce County deputies with higher pay and, yes, a $50,000 incentive. Carly Capetto is Pierce County Sheriff's Public Information Officer. She admits that's tough to compete with.
We're doing the best we can to retain the deputies that we have. We can't offer them an incentive package better than what the Tacoma Police Department can offer. So there's really not too much we can do for that.
Pierce County, to their credit, is offering a $25,000 signing bonus. But this offer comes at a time when Pierce County is already down 23 deputies from their desired force of about 600. And just now the deputies union is fighting for better pay.
I think it's frustrating for the deputies to see other surrounding agencies get, fair and reasonable contracts, and that we are still not coming to a conclusion with a contract. And we all love Pierce County.
They do, and Capetto says so far only 2 Pierce County deputies have left the agency for Tacoma, but she acknowledges the rumors that many more could soon depart. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, thanks for that update, Corwin. It's 7:06 now. A 16-year-old student is in custody, accused of threatening to attack Sequim High School.
The FBI says TikTok flagged a post where the teen wrote he was going to shoot up the school today. Clallam County Sheriff's deputies say they tracked the post to a local residence and arrested that student early yesterday morning. The investigation is ongoing.
A former Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to shut off the engines on a flight that took off from Everett has reached a plea deal. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas reports Joseph Emerson had taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days before.
Emerson wasn't flying the plane when it happened in 2023. He was hitching a ride in the cockpit and had an episode. The plane made an emergency landing in Portland where he was arrested. Now, Now, initially, Emerson was charged with attempted murder for every person on board. Those charges were lessened over the years. And in the years since, Emerson has publicly admitted to taking the drugs to cope with a friend's death, saying he hadn't slept for nearly 2 days when he tried to turn off the engines. We don't know the details of the plea deal, but we do know Emerson wanted to avoid prison time.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
It's Friday. I have a feeling if Sully were here and not on the sick list, he'd be headbanging right now.
Yeah, he would be headbanging. Maybe he's listening right now and banging his head. Of course, he'd be wearing shorts, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a day that ends in Y.
And it's also a blue Friday.
Yeah. Let's go Hawks. That game coming up this weekend. A lot on the line. I'm Charlie. That's Manda.
She's Lori.
Lori is filling in for Sully this morning. You got big weekend plans, Lori?
Oh, always. Well, it starts tonight with the Storm game.
Oh, fun.
How cool is that? They're still a contender, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's go Storm. Okay. Now, this hour of Seattle's Morning News, we have a lot coming up, including the Rick Riz show as we look to get back on track for the M's.
You think he's going to be in a good mood this morning?
Rick's always in a good mood.
No, they're not back home. Never mind.
Yeah. They're in Atlanta, right?
Yep. Also, ICE operations in Chicago could ramp up as soon as today. News Nation correspondent Xavier Walton joins the show to break down what we know and what it could mean for that city.
It's 7:08. The Department of Homeland Security today confirmed a Pakistani native who was arrested when he turned up for a citizenship interview in Tukwila is in the process of being deported. Here's KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch.
Mohammed Zahid Chowdhury's wife says he's a disabled U.S. military veteran who's lived in the country for 25 years. Now,
my family is torn in pieces and my soul is shredded, and I have to explain this to our 2 little children who don't know what happened to their baba.
Homeland Security says Chowdhury has a criminal past in Australia, which he lied about to obtain a green card in the U.S. The agency claims Chowdhury falsely said he was deployed to Iraq and owes the VA more than $81,000. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
A wildfire sparked by lightning Sunday has blown up to more than 6,200 acres in forest land about 25 miles northeast of Leavenworth. Mario Martinez watched as the fire surged overnight.
You could just see the whole sky was just like glowing red when it really caught fire. And it started, it was creating like its own thunder and lightning storm.
Level 3 get out now evacuations are in effect near the town of Ardenvor. He knows of 10 to 15 families who have left.
Smoke from all these fires lingering across the state. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi.
Things are a little hazy in the Seattle area, but it's much worse in central and eastern Washington, where all counties are under air quality alerts. Beth Friedman with the Washington State Department of Ecology says light winds are keeping smoke trapped.
So the smoke just sits and mixes together and doesn't really move around or go anywhere.
She says cooler weather may start slowing down the fire activity, but the smoke's going to be around for several days. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Governor Bob Ferguson says President Trump's proposed tariffs could devastate Washington's economy. He unveiled a new report yesterday showing grocery prices could rise 16% by 2027. The state could lose $2.2 billion in revenue and nearly 32,000 jobs. Ferguson says the tariffs are illegal and filed a court brief challenging them. Republican leaders say the report is political spin. State Representative Jim Walsh calls it fear-mongering and blames Ferguson's own budget decisions for economic trouble. He says the governor raised taxes and cut critical services, then tried to shift the blame to President Trump.
Seattle police say a man shot himself on Capitol Hill early yesterday morning after waving a gun and threatening people near 10th and Pike. Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
SPD says it happened just before 2 a.m., some kind of altercation on the street between the man and 3 other men. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard says the 3 men were trying to disarm the man when he accidentally shot himself in the chest.
He's in Harborview Medical Center in serious condition, and he is actually under arrest. When he leaves and he's discharged from there, he'll be taken to King County Jail.
The 26-year-old man is expected to be charged with felony harassment. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
In Pierce County, prepare for the rodeo to take over the streets. Some KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun explains.
The annual parade is happening at 10 a.m. and is part of the Washington State Fair. Meridian downtown will be closed to all cars to make it safe for people and animals alike. It's going to be a hoot.
Seattle's Waterfront Park is preparing for a grand opening celebration tomorrow, and KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is there.
Over the past few months, the new 20-acre waterfront park has been slowly revealed as each piece is completed. Now the entire park is done and it's ready to enjoy. The latest and final addition is Pier 62, which is known for hosting several community events weekly already. Tomorrow the fun kicks off at 11 a.m. and goes until 9 p.m. along the entire waterfront park. There's going to be live music, food, games, pop-up performances, and even immersive art experiences.
It's now 7:12. Hopefully the weather will hold out for all the weekend events. Let's get a check on the forecast now. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Today's going to be nice, 81 with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms a possibility and 75. And then we'll continue the cool down Sunday. Only 72 with a mix of showers and sun breaks. Monday and Tuesday look pretty much the same. Right now it's 61 in Seattle.
Well, let's go to Lori Hardy for traffic on the 3s.
Charlie, did you know today is Be Late for Something Day?
I didn't.
Great. I already accomplished something.
Okay.
But our drivers don't have to be because we have such an easy commute today. Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes. Everett to Bellevue, just a 28-minute drive now in the other direction. Federal Way to Seattle, 32 minutes. Just over half an hour. And Federal Way to Bellevue is an easy 35-minute drive. I'm Lori, KIRO, Real-Time Traffic.
It's now 7:13. A farming couple in Maine got a major surprise when cops showed up at their door. KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard is here to explain.
It was all because of complaints about a woman screaming. What was thought to be cries for help were actually the sounds of their goat named Simon. Devon Hans and her husband got a lot of laughs out of the ordeal and have been the talk of the town since posting about it on Facebook.
I don't know how to make a goat be quiet, so he gets everything he needs, food, love, all of the things. He's just got a lot to say.
She says Simon is just a chatty goat.
Does Simon live inside?
No, he's outside.
Oh, okay.
Does Simon want to host a talk show?
I don't think that would be great for all of our listeners and viewers especially.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Katrina. It's 7:14.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Oh, it's time for the Rick Riz Show.
It is? No, Manda.
I mean, it's time for the Rick Riz Show. Good morning, Rick.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. Have you recovered from that road trip yet?
Yeah. We had an off day yesterday here in Atlanta. Now they're getting ready to take on the Braves in the first game of the 3-game series. So we're looking forward to coming home to the friendly confines of T-Mobile Park here in the next few days against St. Louis. So looking forward to wind up on a positive note.
Yeah, it's so far been a kind of a rough road trip for the Mariners. Is there anything, Rick, you can really pinpoint that is not clicking for the team that they're hoping to improve on?
Yeah, Charlie and Amanda. You know, I go back to the first game of the road trip in Cleveland. They scored 4 runs in the top of the first inning. And in baseball, you know, when you do something like that, you got to keep adding on so the team doesn't have a chance to even come back and think about winning the game. Well, they didn't, and Cleveland came back and eventually won the ball game by a score of 6-4. So, and I'm looking back at the last 6 games in this road trip: 3 in Cleveland and 3 in Tampa Bay. Out of 54 innings on this road trip, the Mariners have not scored in 44 innings. So, you know, so that tells me, you know, if they're getting a guy on base, they're not, you know, coming up with another walk or another base hit to try to, you know, add on some runs. So they're having a rough time offensively. They'll get things turned around. You know, they've had a rough patch. This is a second road trip where they've, you know, really had a rough time. So they're looking forward to getting back home. But that's the one thing that I see on this road trip. If they do get something going, they don't get that big extra base hit to, you know, score some runs to add on, and they will.
I don't want to dwell on the negative, but that last game in Tampa Bay was particularly bad. I mean, the first inning, it was 3 pitches, 3 outs for the Mariners. And what happened with George Kirby?
Well, I tell you what, if I could answer that question, you know, man, I'd bottle it up and give it to, you know, every pitching coach in baseball. But George Kirby's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But he had his roughest outing of his young baseball career. He went 2 outings. He got hit hard. In the meantime, the starter, you know, for Tampa Bay, 3 pitches, 3 outs, like you said, in the top of the first inning. Adrian Hauser It's just hard to explain. He pitched very well in his previous 2 outings, and then all of a sudden it just wasn't there. He couldn't get to the edges, and George relies on great control. He doesn't walk anybody. He can throw a fastball on the inside corner, the outside corner, down and up, and he just didn't have it. He just didn't have it that night. It's really hard to explain because the guy is just so good, and he'll figure things out.
Rick, 30 years ago this month, I was hanging on your every word as the Mariners were making that big push for the playoffs. And
oh my gosh, that was 30 years ago.
Sorry to bring that up. It was must-listen radio appointment, and I just kind of want you to maybe reflect on this. 30 years later, here we are. We're really wanting to make the playoffs. It was far from certain then, and it's far from certain now, but there is still that desire and that push to make it to the postseason.
Oh, no doubt about it. There's 22 games left. They had a team meeting a couple of days ago when we were in Tampa Bay. Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander at the trade deadline, they gave this ball club the opportunity to win this division and to get to the postseason. It's not over yet. I mean, the ball club is still having the 3rd spot in the wild card. So if the season ended right now, the Mariners would be in the postseason. But they're 3.5 games behind Houston. In the next few weeks, they got a big 3-game series coming up against the Astros in Houston. But they added, Josh Naylor at first base. They added Gino Suarez over third base. They added another quality left-hander down to the bullpen in Caleb Ferguson. So the guys got together, and they said, and Danny Wilson told us what he could, as much as he could tell us after the meeting. He said, basically, it's in our hands. This is our destiny. We have a chance to go out and win it. So let's go out and do something about it. And I really believe that they will. They were 1 game shy last year, 1 game shy 2 years ago.
Man,
and then they made it to the playoffs 3 years ago. Yeah. And Cal Raleigh said, listen, this is unacceptable. We can't afford not to get to the playoffs, so let's get this thing done. Obviously, he's doing his best, and I really still believe in this team, the roster that they have right now, the pitchers that they have right now. The starters will figure things out. They had a rough time in Tampa Bay. They pitched well in Cleveland, but that's the course of an up and down roller coaster season. So I believe this team will get to the playoffs. They just got to figure things out.
Can't you argue this is one of the best rosters in all of baseball right now?
I think offensively it was, when Jerry made those deals, I mean, Julio Rodriguez is having a great second half of the season. Randy Rosarena has done a great job in the leadoff spot. Cal Raleigh is still doing historic things. He has 50 home runs on the season. Nobody expected that, over 100 RBIs. Gino has 40-plus home runs and over 100 RBIs. The young guys have played well. Dom Canzone, Cole Young, Ben Williamson when he was here. So, and Polanco's hot again like he was in April. So this is a roster that they can get the fans to the playoffs again. Yes.
Well, we are winding down the season. And where do you think things stand with this AL MVP race between Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge?
Well, I guess I'm totally biased, but, throwing that aside, Cal Raleigh deserves to be the MVP of the American League. No question in my mind. What he's doing offensively, he has more home runs, more RBIs than Aaron Judge. Judge and Cal are 1 and 2 in the other statistics, in the American League. But Cal is doing it as a catcher. He has blown away every catcher in Major League Baseball. He's having the greatest season of any catcher in the history of Major League Baseball. Johnny Bench, Mike Piazza, Carlton Fisk, Roy Campanella, pick a name. But he's also surpassing the greatest players in the game of baseball in other offensive categories. I mean, he's just 1 home run shy away from matching Mickey Mantle for the second most home runs in a single season at 52. Mantle has the record at 54. Cal's going to beat that. He was 1 home run shy of besting Barry Bonds for the most home runs before the All-Star break. We know Barry's home run totals are not legit. And Cal had 38 by the break. Barry Bonds had, 39. So what he's doing is historic. So what he's doing offensively, what he's doing as a catcher, throwing out runners, framing pitches, getting pitchers through tough patches during the course of a game in the season, and what he's doing historically, as the greatest season of any catcher in the history of the game, I think puts him above and beyond Aaron Judge, bless his heart. But I think Cal Raleigh definitely, in my mind, what I've seen every day, this guy gets dinged up every day behind home plate. He should be the American League MVP, no question.
Okay, well, the Mariners are taking on the Braves in Atlanta. Jared Kelenic, is he back with the Major League team?
No, Jared's not with Atlanta, at least the last time I saw. So I'm not really sure where Jared is right now, but I'll check. But Logan Gilbert going tonight. He's coming off a good outing. His last start in Cleveland. Chris Sale is going to be making his second start since missing a lot of time. But he's a tough left-hander. So it's going to be a good one tonight here in Atlanta.
All right. We'll look forward to hearing you this afternoon. First pitch, our time, 4:15. Rick Riz, thanks for your time this morning. And let's turn this around. Have fun at the ballpark.
That sounds great. Thanks, guys.
It's coming up on 7:23. Traffic on the threes. Lori Hardy is in for Chris Sullivan today.
Traffic is brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. We still have this collision. It's 405 northbound, just a little before 85th, and there's a stall. It's blocking that left toll lane. Renton to Seattle, a 21-minute drive, and Everett to Seattle, just 27 minutes. If you're heading to Bellevue from Everett, that's 33 minutes now. Westbound US 2 still backs up from 20th, but it is thinning out. Of course, it's all the way to I-5. Tacoma to Seattle now, 49-minute drive. Federal Way to Bellevue is 45 minutes. And 167 northbound now slowing as you approach 405 in Renton. And then 405 northbound kind of sluggish all the way from 167 through Newcastle. Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt ductless heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And our forecast, we're going to see a mix of clouds and sun for today. Nice and warm, 81, and then a bit of a cool down on the way. 75 for tomorrow. Scattered thunderstorms a possibility, and then a mix of scattered showers and sun breaks for our Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with highs on either side of 70. Right now it's 61 in Seattle.
Undercover 49ers. The Seattle Police Department's plan for Sunday's Seahawks game. And also in today's commentary, I'm going to be talking about the value of community colleges. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Wow, it's so good to finally be back home.
Is it me, or is it musty?
Oh, damp. Check the bathroom.
Damp!
The basement?
Damp! Wait!
Yeah?
I'm ordering damp bread!
So we don't have to move?
Eliminate damp, musty smells by trapping excess moisture. Get rid of the damp with Damp Rid.
Have you heard the saying, chuck in a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877 or visit us online at GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Cap off your summer with an incredible night at the ballpark. The final Mariners fireworks show of the season is coming up Friday, September 12th, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the Angels in a divisional showdown at 7:10. And after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with a dazzling post-game display. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's two spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Way back into the upper deck. What a year for the Big Dumper.
Go to Mariners.com to lock in your seats and check out everything on deck, including Fan Appreciation Night presented by Starbucks, Saturday, September 13th, and a Super Mario Mariners cap giveaway thanks to Nintendo, Sunday, September 14th. Plus, don't miss the final homestand of the regular season featuring a matchup against Shohei Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, September 26th through 28th. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Shop incredible end-of-summer savings at the Dania Furniture Labor Day sale. For a limited time, take up to 70% off select modern furniture and decor for every room in your home. Stop by one of our 4 local showrooms today or shop online at DaniaFurniture.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Summer is fast approaching, and it's a great time to get ready for the busy season with help from WaFd Bank. They offer services like Collect Early, which opens your cash flow for the things you need, like hiring summer staff or expanding your product line. Collect Early helps you get your invoices paid in hours, not weeks. What could your business do with more money? Take things to the next level with WaFd Bank and find bankers with the knowledge and services to meet your business goals. WaFd Bank, built for business. WaFdBank.com, member FDIC.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Celebrate 31 seasons of world-class jazz with the Seattle Repertory Jazz Orchestra at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. 4 nights of hard-swinging big band favorites with guest vocalist Jacqueline Tabor. This Thursday through Sunday. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's Friday. It's 7:30. At Lumen Field this weekend, Seahawks fans will wear blue and police will wear red.
It's part of an effort to check unruly behavior by fans of both the Hawks and the visiting San Francisco 49ers.
We get more on this from our own visiting reporter, Corwin Hake.
Thank you. And I want to make clear, it's not just this game. The Seahawks front office tells us police officers will dress in the opposing team's hats and jerseys all season long, the better to monitor disruptive or illegal crowd behavior. But it is worth noting this may be the acid test Sunday. Data from ticket resale markets strongly suggests Niners fans will be heavily represented at this Sunday's game. Former Seattle radio personality Ryan Harris now lives in the Bay Area.
This is probably one of the
biggest rivalries in the NFL, at least in the western half of the country. So it always brings out the fans, and sometimes it brings out a little bit of animosity.
You know, Ryan's a Bay Area native, but it turns out he's no fan of Niners fans.
49ers fans are thugs.
He said it, I didn't. Opinions may not reflect the management. Anyway, he likes the idea of sending Seattle police undercover in those blood red Niners jerseys.
I think that's exactly what you need, because these guys won't know it's coming. They'll be doing some drinking, and if they act up, those undercover cops will be right there to take care of business.
They will, and for what it's worth, he also predicts the Hawks will take care of business on the field. Ryan is known to be a betting man. He'll place the occasional wager, and his money this Sunday is on the Hawks.
Okay, we'll take that. Thank you, Corwin. 7:32 now. Renton man is charged for allegedly burglarizing high-profile athletes and celebrities in the Seattle area over the span of several months.
We get the update from KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas.
10 felony crimes were added to the list out of Renton, Issaquah, and Edmonds. That includes robberies and burglaries at the home of Seattle Mariner pitcher Luis Castillo, former Seattle Seahawk Richard Sherman, and musician Macklemore, plus a home invasion at the residence of former Seattle Mariner Ichiro Suzuki. 29-year-old Patrick Masonette was in court for a different set of crimes, a jewelry store robbery at Robbins Brothers Fine Jewelers in Bellevue. Police say he and two others stole a $30,000 watch.
It's 7:32. This wildfire smoke will be sticking around for several more days across the state of Washington. All counties in central and eastern Washington are under air quality alerts. In some places, the air is considered very unhealthy.
There's really a considerable amount of smoke over the region right now.
Beth Friedman with the Department of Ecology says calm winds are actually making things worse because the smoke doesn't move around and dissipate. Things are much less severe in the Seattle area, where it's just been orange in the skies.
The Seattle Parks Department is planning a major upgrade for next summer's World Cup, as we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
Construction will start at Westlake Park next month. Crews will address safety needs like better lighting and more vehicle barriers. They'll replace aging infrastructure and improve the overall experience. If all goes to plan, the work should be done in the spring.
It's now 7:33. That's time for traffic, and we do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan is on the sick list today. Lori Hardy is watching things.
We still have a collision. It's 405 northbound right at 85th, and it's a stall in the left toll lane. 16 eastbound at Willachet, we have a collision partly blocking. Now, Tacoma to Federal Way, a 2-minute delay, which is a 13-minute drive. Federal Way to Seattle, just 36 minutes. Federal Way to Bellevue right now, 47 minutes. That's going to take you a minute longer than usual. And Renton to Seattle is 23 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 28-minute drive. Linwood to Seattle right now, we're looking at 17 minutes. And to Bellevue, 27 minutes, an extra, 10 minutes longer than Seattle anyway. Redmond to Seattle, we're holding on the bridges. 520 is a 14-minute drive, and I-90, 18 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And our forecast, we're going to see partly sunny skies for today. Very pleasant afternoon, 81 for the high. Tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms are in the forecast, 75, and only 72 on Sunday. Scattered showers for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, along with sun breaks, not a washout. Right now, it's cloudy and 61 in Seattle.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
7:35 now, and time for this morning's commentary. Here in Washington, we sure do love our big universities. The Huskies, the Cougs, we wear their sweatshirts like badges of honor. And hey, that's great. If you can afford it, if you've got the grades, and if your college fund didn't become the cover the rent fund. But what about everybody else? Families working hard just to pay the bills on time in this economy. The kid who needs a do-over, the grown-up who just wants to fix things that actually break. Well, enter our community colleges and vocational schools, the heroes nobody puts on a bumper sticker. I know this personally. At age 21, I walked into what was then called Green River Community College in Auburn with no money, no direction, and grades that screamed solid B student on a good day. My parents couldn't help. They didn't have the resources or frankly, the roadmap. College was not a thing in my family. But Green River had a radio program and a tiny but mighty station, KGRG, where I figured out how to sound confident while having absolutely no idea what I was doing. Those 2 years of classes led straight to a contract job at Microsoft in the 90s. Eventually, a bachelor's, then a master's, and a career teaching part-time at Green River. I did it for 2 decades while working full-time at radio stations here in Seattle. All because someone at a community college said, "Sure, kid, give it a shot." In those classrooms, you have 15, maybe 25 students, and your instructor actually knows your name. Novel concept, right? You can raise your hand without feeling like you're interrupting a TED Talk. And those vocational programs your nosy neighbor calls fallback options, they're teaching schools that'll outlast every smartphone app, HVAC techs, plumbers, auto mechanics. Try outsourcing your burst pipe to artificial intelligence. Some of these grads are pulling up to 6 figures a couple years out of school with 0 student debt and actual job security. Now, here's something that should make the dinner table conversation with your high schooler. On average, people who graduate from these technical programs, they are seeing their paychecks jump 25 to 50%. 50%. Try getting that kind of raise by asking nicely. So the next time your neighbor's kid says they're heading to Shoreline or Bates, don't give them the sympathetic head tilt. Instead, give them the same high five you'd give a future Husky, because these schools transform lives. You know, we live in a time when everybody's obsessed with the best path, best school, best job, best lawn in the cul-de-sac. But maybe the best path is simply the one that gets you where you need to go, even if it starts in a community college parking lot, searching for the Lindblom Student Center, wondering if you're making a huge mistake. You're not. Trust me on this one. Text us at 888-973-5476. You can jump in the chat on YouTube Live at KIRO News Radio. You can always leave a comment on this commentary at mynorthwest.com.
At the risk of sounding motherly,
yeah,
I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
that was awesome.
Thank you. I really mean it. Community colleges are such a valuable resource.
All right. Hey, you want to fly straight from Seattle to Iceland? Alaska Airlines says you can. We mentioned this. They've now announced the date. It starts May 28th of next year. That's when the new nonstop route to Reykjavik takes off. It's one of 2 international flights launching next May from SeaTac. Rome is the other. Alaska's been expanding overseas since buying Hawaiian Airlines last year. That deal cost $1.9 billion and gave Alaska bigger planes for longer trips. A former Alaska Airlines pilot is ready to plead guilty. Joseph Emerson was off duty riding in the cockpit in October of 2023 when he tried to shut off the engines mid-flight. The plane took off from Everett, headed for San Francisco, but had to land in Portland. Here's what Emerson told CBS News he was thinking at the time.
You're not going home. You need to wake up. And that's when I acted. And I pulled the handles that were in front of my face.
More than 80 people were on board. Emerson told police he hadn't slept in 40 hours and thought he was dreaming. He also said he had taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days earlier. He's expected to plead guilty in federal court and no contest in state court today.
Coming up on 740, Lori, where is your traffic hotspot?
Oh, well, we've got a new accident right now, southbound I-5 at 272nd. I'll tell you all about it coming up.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
7:43. Lori Hardy is watching traffic for us this morning.
Southbound I-5, we've got the off-ramp to 272nd. It's blocked for road work. You can still get through on one lane. 405 northbound, just north of 85th, we have a stall. It's blocking the left toll lane. Renton to Seattle right now, 24 minutes. And Renton to Bellevue, you're going to see a 3-minute delay. Everett to Seattle, just 32 minutes. But to Bellevue, that's 38 minutes. Now, we're seeing a backup US 2, which is usual for the morning, but it is starting to thin out quite a bit. Tacoma to Seattle is a 50-minute drive, and Federal Way to Bellevue, 45 minutes. Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
It's going to be a really nice Friday afternoon. Enjoy, because then we're going to cool down for a while. 81 and partly sunny for today. Tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms and 75. And then Sunday, right on through Wednesday, kind of the same pattern, mix of showers and sun breaks and highs either side of 70. Right now, it's still 61 in Seattle.
Well, get ready to defy gravity all over again. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard is here.
Wicked for Good is casting its spell with a dazzling new trailer that just dropped.
You can't resist this.
Who could?
You know who could. Bring me the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West.
We can't let good be just a word. It has to mean something.
The sequel to the hit musical film reunites Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande as Elphaba and Glinda, diving deeper into their friendship, their rivalry, and the magic of Oz. It hits theaters in November.
In November. I have to wait until November.
Just a few more months. We can do it.
Oh, that is only a couple months away, isn't it? I've seen the first one now 4 times, I think, and I don't usually rewatch movies, but I loved it so much.
It's iconic, honestly, at this point.
Am I the only one imagining what Sully's face would look like right now?
He'd be confused. Yes.
I've never seen such a thing.
Wicked. Wicked what?
Thanks, Katrina. It's 7:45, and we're going to go to News Nation's Xavier Walton in just a moment, talking about ICE operations could be ramping up in Chicago within hours. We'll talk about that with him coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
What if weight loss didn't feel like a lonely battle? What if you had a proven tool and a trusted guide by your side? At Longevity Medical Clinics, our medically supervised GLP-1 weight loss program helps you shed pounds, boost your metabolism, and feel more like yourself again. But unlike online programs that drop medication at your doorstep and disappear, we take the time to understand your body. We track your lab work, monitor your safety, and adjust your plan so your results are healthy and lasting. Because weight loss isn't one size fits all, and you deserve a program designed for your unique biology. If you're serious about losing weight and you want to do it the right way, Longevity Medical Clinic is here to help. Call Longevity Medical Clinics today at 866-86-YOUNG or visit longevitymedicalclinic.com for your free health analysis. Longevity Medical Clinics. Real medicine, real monitoring, real results. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit longevitymedicalclinic.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Good Friday morning, 7:48 now. Well, ICE operations in Chicago could ramp up as soon as today.
News Nation correspondent Xavier Walton joins us with the latest on the raids. What do we know at this point this morning, Xavier?
Charlie, Manda, good morning. I'm outside of a processing facility now, an ICE processing facility now. And let me tell you, it has been an active morning before 5 a.m. here local time. We actually watched some detainees in handcuffs being loaded into the back of some cargo vans and then being escorted out. And then hours later, a group of protesters, which are still here, dozens, showed up at this facility. It was staged and planned from 7 to 9, which usually is when people are transported. So the transport that they were trying to stop actually happened hours earlier, which we watched play out. And then we actually watched another sit-in with protesters. But all this, as you both just mentioned, expecting ICE immigration deportation efforts to ramp up here in the city. That is something that J.B. Pritzker has been talking about for weeks. It feels like lawmakers have been talking about it for weeks. It may come to fruition today, fully assembled ICE agents, everything today, and then operational tomorrow. The thing is, though, we don't know exactly when. We don't know exactly how. And those are the things that we're trying to, fill in the blank. But it's tough. It's like, when you're playing sports, you're not going to have the other team's, playbook, if you will. So we're just kind of watching and waiting to see how this all plays out. In the meantime, I think everyone is just kind of like holding their breath to see what is this going to be like, because we've been talking about it for weeks.
Xavier, did I hear that right, that they've already boarded up some building windows like on federal buildings and other such facilities?
So I got in late last night. I know the one I'm at right now, I can see it with my own two eyes, and those windows, yes, they are boarded up. Even, ICE agents, there's one guy who tried to go in through the gate. Bunch of protesters literally sat in front of his car, and he had to go backwards, and that was a small victory for the protesters. But he ultimately parked his car far away and then walked in, and he was just getting heckled. And, they were shouting obscenities at him. But absolutely 100%, this building, this processing facility that I'm at right now, windows are boarded up, and you got the barbed wire at the top of the fence. You got police on each side. It's definitely heavily guarded.
I understand some schedules were actually changing because of security concerns this weekend.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I think people forget There's Mexican independence celebrations going on here this weekend in Chicago, and I'm told it's a big deal. So when you throw that on top of, the ramping up of immigration deportation efforts by the Trump administration, and then you throw in, hey, if things get out of hand, we're going to have the National Guard. We've heard President Trump say the Guard is coming. We haven't seen that, and the city hasn't been given official orders or anything like that, but it's certainly something that everyone here in Chicago seems to be talking about and kind of just, again, watching and waiting with bated breath.
And what kind of pushback are we seeing from local police departments? I understand even some of the suburbs are saying they're not going to cooperate. What are you seeing?
Well, it's a mixed bag. So you have some people saying we're not going to cooperate, and then you have some others who say, you know what, we maybe could use a little help, so this might actually be good. And then you talk to people, and it's the same exact thing. I think everyone can share the same notion and the same idea that, it could be better if it were safer, but how do we get to that point where it is a safer place? Certain areas are a little worse when it comes to crime. How do we get to that common, theme of, hey, we feel safe, but how do we get there? I think that's where the middle ground needs to be found. And right now, definitely some pushback, but there are some people who agree with how this is being handled so far. But again, we're still waiting to figure out, okay, is the National Guard actually going to come here? President Trump sort of walked that back this week. He brought up another city, New Orleans, led by a Democrat, the city, but then the state led by a Republican. So it's interesting to watch it play out. We're going to be here all weekend, starting today, to see if anything gets out of hand. Hopefully it doesn't, but we'll be here regardless.
So in the 30 seconds we have left here, Xavier, there is a strong contingent, let's say, of people who come out for protests. They typically are out for every single protest. I'm sure you have encountered this throughout your career. Is that basically who you're seeing outside this ICE facility right now, or is it more of a cross-section of people in Illinois and Chicago?
It's more, to be completely honest, it is more of the same people that have been coming out fighting for their cause. For example, there's a woman here that's kind of the organizer. I'm told she was arrested earlier this week at the same exact facility, and she's still here. She's still protesting. She is letting her voice be heard. And now that, this weekend, they're supposed to ramp up efforts, up to 300 ICE agents are supposed to be here. She certainly is not letting up whatsoever.
Xavier will be watching for your updates through the weekend. Thank you so much. News Nation correspondent Xavier Walton.
And at 7:53, we need to get over to Lori with traffic on the threes.
Well, it looks like they're clearing that accident northbound 405 at 85th from the toll gate over to the right shoulder. We've cleared an accident 16 eastbound at Willachet. Tacoma to Federal Way, you're going to see a 1-minute delay. That's a 13-minute drive in North 5 slows approaching State Route 18. Federal Way to Seattle, 42 minutes. That's 4 minutes a delay. Federal Way to Bellevue, 51 minutes now, which is 6 minutes longer than usual. Renton to Seattle, 27 minutes, and Bellevue is a 34-minute drive. That's 4-minute delay. We're seeing Redmond to Seattle holding on that bridge, 520, 14 minutes. I-90, 18 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Nice Friday. Nice way to wrap up the weekend, or the week, that is. Will be partly sunny and 81 today. And then here comes the threat of some showers, maybe thunder showers for tomorrow, 75. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to see showers at times, but some sun breaks too, and highs at around 70. Right now in Seattle, it's still partly cloudy and 61.
I'm looking at the apartments across the street from us on East Lake Avenue. If you look there, Amanda, it's already orange out. It's very, very yellowish orange. So, yeah, here we are with the smoke.
If I tilt my head this way and move my chair over there, I can see that.
Don't look in the neighbors' windows. They don't like that. All right, coming up on Seattle's Morning News, we'll check in with CBS for the latest on a very soft jobs report. Then more of the day's top local stories, including why are so many deputies leaving the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. Corwin Hake has a report coming up on KIRO Newsradio.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO Newsradio, on 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The government says employers tacked on 22,000 jobs last month, down from 79,000 in July. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
This is a report that is consistent with a labor market that is weakening, and that likely means that the Federal Reserve is probably going to cut interest rates at its next meeting in about 10 days. We're expecting a 0.25-point rate cut, but Chair Powell is probably going to underscore that there could be some price pressures that are building through the economy, and the Fed's going to watch that closely.
There's where the U.S. has ordered the deployment of 10 fighter jets to Puerto Rico to conduct operations against drug cartels. CBS's Charlie D'Agata at the Pentagon.
It's tough to call it an operation because the Pentagon loves the word operation, but they haven't really named what this is, what this mission is. We don't know the details about that strike, that lethal strike on that boat carrying drugs and drug smugglers. Who launched it? What launched it? Was it a drone? Did it come from a helicopter? And it's all getting a little bit murky.
A government memo obtained by CBS News says Homeland Security has asked the Pentagon to accommodate about 250 federal agents at a military base in Illinois ahead of expected immigration roundups in Chicago. And Homeland Security says 475 people were detained during an immigration raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia. Another state is taking its own action on vaccines. This time it's New York, and it's about the COVID shot.
Governor Kathy Hochul plans to sign an executive order that would allow pharmacists to vaccinate anyone over 3 years old without a prescription. The FDA has only authorized COVID shots for people 65 and older or people who have underlying medical conditions. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was criticized for that new policy during a Senate hearing yesterday.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
Senator Cantwell.
You're wrong.
California, Oregon, and Washington are forming an alliance to issue their own vaccine recommendations. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In an exclusive interview for CBS Sunday Morning, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett insists the High Court can maintain its independence.
Presidents have whatever their own motivations are for appointing justices, but once justices serve on the court, the whole point of life tenure and salary protection, which is guaranteed to federal judges by the Constitution, is to ensure their independence from both the executive branch and from Congress.
Tesla says in a regulatory filing it's looking for investors to improve a proposed pay package for Elon Musk that would be worth almost $1 trillion if the company hits certain milestones over the next decade. Wall Street, the Dow is down 340. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
It's 8:03. Let's check in with Lori Hardy, who's filling in for Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
Well, we just cleared this collision, 405 northbound at 85th. It looks like the slowdown is mostly in the southbound direction approaching the scene. Tacoma to Federal Way right now, a 12-minute drive Federal Way to Seattle, 45 minutes. Now that's a 7-minute delay. Federal Way to Bellevue, you're looking at a 51-minute drive, and that's 10 minutes longer than usual. Renton to Seattle, 30, and Bellevue, 39 minutes. That's 9 minutes longer than usual. Linwood to Seattle as an 18-minute drive, into Bellevue, 26 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
8:03 in the morning here on Friday, September 5th, 2025. You are listening to Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Staffing levels at the Pierce County Sheriff's Office are increasingly at risk as a neighboring agency entices deputies away with a tempting signing bonus.
And KIRO's Corwin Hake is here to explain. Corwin?
Well, Pierce County Sheriff's Public Information Officer Carly Capetto confirms that 2 of her department's deputies resigned recently to take other jobs, presumably with the Tacoma Police Department, although she would not say for sure. She does admit, though, Tacoma PD is offering an attractive incentive.
It's essentially a $50,000 hiring bonus, probably one of the highest hiring bonuses any police agency in Washington state has seen.
And Tacoma's offer is available only to deputies, or I should say any law enforcement officers living in Pierce County, so it's hard for the sheriff's office not to take it personally.
Obviously, it would take away from our current deputies that are residents of our county.
And the offer comes at a time when her department already has almost 24 vacancies.
Let's just say if we lost 10 deputies, that would significantly impact our operations.
And let's just say this turmoil is also going on when not only are deputies trying to land a new contract, but also as Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank is drawing perhaps unwelcome attention with controversial social media remarks, including the one you may have heard asking whether trans people should be banned from opening guns. Charlie, Amanda.
A lot of people are on the text line saying perhaps the sheriff is one of the reasons the deputies are leaving. So thank you, Corwin. It is 8:05. Level 3 get out now evacuations are in effect for people who live about 25 miles northeast of Leavenworth.
Jody Schiffman, the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center spokesperson, says the fire sparked by lightning Sunday has surged to more than 6,200 acres.
Those hot temperatures and low humidities cause more extreme fire behavior.
The Sugarloaf wildfire is south of the Palmas fire. That's burning on more than 3,500 acres. And the Martin fire, that's torched 132 acres in central Washington.
And because of all these wildfires, Seattle is seeing hazy, smoky skies, but the worst of it remains east of the Cascades. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi.
Beth Friedman with the Washington Department of Ecology says all counties in central and eastern Washington are under air quality alerts.
Right now, most of central and eastern Washington, it's ranging anywhere between moderate air to very unhealthy air quality.
That's going to be the case for at least the next few days. There won't be enough wind to dissipate the smoke. She says here in the Seattle area, you may notice a red sun or some light smoke, but there are no air quality alerts for the Puget Sound region. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Jonah Oakleaf is in for David Burbank and just said, oh, yeah, okay.
Nice one,
It's a
Nick.
good one, Nick.
Picked some bangers. What can I say?
It's Friday, man. We got to dance boogie, man.
Thank you.
All right. Well, good morning to you. I'm Charlie. That is Manda. Lori Hardy is in for Sully this morning. Really happy to have her here. Jonah Oakleaf, you heard his voice. He's filling in for David Burbank. Katrina Gashard is out at the news desk, keeping an eye on all the headlines for us. And, of course, that's Nick in the control room, running the board and picking the music.
Coming up this hour, hey, it's Blue Friday, you know. The Mike McDonald Show. He's going to explain his thoughts on the game.
And it is Friday, so Paul Holden will stop by the studio with our weekend planner, all the exciting events happening around the Sound this weekend.
It's 8:08. Pierce County deputies are called to a McDonald's for a man asleep behind the wheel in the drive-thru, and it quickly turned into a larger investigation.
It happened September 1st at the McDonald's at Portland Avenue East and 112th Street East. Inside the man's car, deputies found a large quantity of fentanyl, cocaine, meth, cash, 2 loaded handguns, and a 3D printed assault-style rifle with a suppressor. Pierce County Sheriff's Deputy Carly Capetto.
They have no serial numbers on them. There's no way to track these firearms, where they came from, who built them.
The 39-year-old man is expected to be charged with drug distribution. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
In King County, a 48-year-old man is accused of attacking his Applebee's manager with a hammer. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun.
Bellevue police say this happened before 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. According to charging documents, Marco Herrera Chan approached the 59-year-old victim and said, "I'm sorry," in Spanish, and then hit him in the head with that hammer. The victim defended himself, stabbing Herrera Chan with scissors several times, and eventually got away and called police.
Suspect is charged with assault in the first degree.
A Renton man is facing serious charges tied to break-ins at celebrity homes. King County prosecutors say Patrick Maisonette targeted pro athletes and rapper Macklemore. The burglaries happened between February and June. Maisonette was arrested last month by a SWAT team in Renton. He's now charged with robbery and burglary, including being the getaway driver in a $30,000 watch heist. He's the second person charged in break-ins at the homes of Mariners pitcher Luis Castillo, Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell, and former Seahawk Richard Sherman. He's being held on more than $2.2 million bail.
A new state report says grocery prices could jump 16% over the next 2 years if President Trump's tariffs go through. Governor Ferguson shared the findings yesterday at a food bank in Seattle. He says tariffs could cost Washington $2.2 billion in lost revenue and nearly 32,000 jobs. But Republicans say Ferguson is using the report to deflect from his own budget problems. State Representative Jim Walsh calls it a gaslighting operation and says Ferguson raised taxes, cut services, and is now blaming Trump. He argues a report exaggerates worst-case scenarios to scare voters. Ferguson insists the numbers are real and says the tariffs are illegal.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security is pushing back against criticism over the detention of Mohammed Chaudhry. Chaudhry is the husband of congressional candidate Melissa Chaudhry and a self-described veteran. He was taken into ICE custody last month during a citizenship interview in Tukwila. DHS says he has a long criminal history, including fraud charges in Australia and false claims to U.S. agencies. They say he lied to get a green card and collected nearly $450,000 in veterans' benefits. Melissa Chaudhry calls the detention a betrayal and says her husband served honorably. She says he was injured during military training and is now being held in poor conditions.
New this morning, federal agents have arrested 475 undocumented immigrants at a Hyundai facility in southern Georgia.
The immigrants were helping to build the new electric vehicle battery plant at Hyundai's huge complex near Savannah. Steve Schrenk, special agent in charge for the Department of Homeland Security in Georgia, says some of the workers' visas had expired. Others had crossed the border illegally.
Those who exploit our workforce, undermine our economy, and violate federal laws will be held accountable.
Many of those arrested were Korean nationals. South Korea's foreign ministry is urging the U.S. to treat them fairly. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A wild scene at the Sounders match is raising concerns about World Cup security in Seattle. Fox 13 Seattle reports fans brawled outside Lumen Field after the Sounders beat Inter Miami. Video shows people throwing traffic cones, trash cans, and punches. This started after Miami star Luis Suarez spit on a Sounders staffer during the game. Seattle police say no one filed a report, so no investigation was opened. But officials are taking notice, with the city set to host 6 World Cup matches in 2026.
At 8:12, let's get a check on weather brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. This may be the last blast of summer. We're expecting to have hazy skies today, all that smoke in the air, but a high of 81. Over the weekend, we're in the mid to lower 70s with a chance of showers Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We continue to cool down. By Tuesday, we're talking about a high of 69. Right now, though, it's pretty nice. It's kind of orange out right now in Seattle. 59.
And it's about 8:13 and time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan is out. Lori Hardy is watching the drive.
And traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. We're seeing a 26-minute drive right now, Renton to Seattle and to Bellevue from Renton. That's a 10-minute delay. Everett to Seattle, 33 minutes. And to Bellevue, a 2-minute delay. Westbound US 2 still rolling slow from 20th, but it is a little better than it was an hour ago. Tacoma to Seattle is a 52-minute drive. Federal Way to Bellevue, 53 minutes. That's 9 minutes longer than usual. And 167 northbound now jamming up from 41st to 405 in Renton, and then 405 northbound from 167 all the way to Lake Washington Boulevard. With over 20 Puget Sound communities, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, Mike, here we are again, second season that you and I get to chat on Friday mornings, talk about the upcoming game, talk about the last game, of which there wasn't one, as this is the first one of the season. So thank you again, as always, for doing this. It's great. I know the fans love it. And since it is your second year, kind of give us a quick tour. How much different has this second year been as you've gotten started than it was last season?
It's interesting. I've gotten that question quite a bit since the beginning of the second season, since, after the first season. And
right.
I feel like the answer is it's evolved kind of with how this year is shaken out. And now the time of year that we're in going into the first game, it just feels like we are more connected. And part of that is a lot of the growth that I feel like I have personally, as a coach, as a person, as a leader. trying to narrow and clear the vision for everybody and really focus on trying to bring everybody together so we can push in the same direction. That's been a huge, probably the number one priority of this offseason up to this point. So, who knows? I mean, I think I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit. I'm proud of the atmosphere we have in the building, and I love our team. And and then we're gonna go rip it on Sunday, and then we're gonna learn from Sunday, however this result comes out, and then we're gonna move forward. So, it just seems clear about what we're trying to get done, more aligned. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's just so much fun right now to come to work and work with these guys. It's a great group.
Now 50 seasons around this NFL football stuff, and I've gotten to know a lot of coaches over the years, a lot of players, and I thought it was remarkable what Cooper Kupp said the other day, and that is one of the great things about you, Coach Mike, is that he doesn't walk in the room thinking he knows everything about everything, and he's willing to listen to other people's ideas and thoughts and all that. That's something that, as an old guy, it wasn't always that way, and maybe not always that way when you were in your younger days as a coach.
Yeah, well, sure. I thought I knew everything when I was younger. I'd be looking at people like me, like, why are they making that decision? That's dumb, I'm sure there's people saying that right now about me, but yeah, of course, you're young. I mean, and it's good. I mean, there's a little bit of good to that when you're younger, being ambitious and trying to get things right and things. You got to realize that obviously the more you grow and the more you learn, the more you realize you don't. There's a lot more you don't know, and then it really depends on being together as a team rather than just you shooting from the hip. But I think I really we've done a lot of work this offseason on why we say what we believe, and one of the things that our program is founded on is old school principles and new school methods. And to me, that's it's really important to me that we operate that way, that we're a foundational team that's strong. So we're going to build, built on respect and integrity and hard work and the things those principles that have stood the test of time. But how we do stuff that's kind of the fun part. That's figuring out what's best for us, best for this team. And we just have a philosophy of, hey, let's just. And we decided as a group this year, and I've told our team that let's just screw what everybody else is doing. Let's do what's best for us. Let's do it our way, the way that we think that we need to do it. That's going to be best for us to move forward and become the team we want to be. And when you have that mentality and you have a bunch of guys that think that way, it's fun to come up with the best thing for us. The best methods that we can kind of push the envelope. So that's what we've been trying to do.
And does that message, Mike, that you give to the team, how important is it for you and for John for that message to also carry over throughout the entire building? Because that's a big organization you have over there.
It is, and that's been a point of emphasis too. I mean, look, you come in as a new coach and you got all these ideas and you're trying to marry them with what's the great stuff that's been here in the past, and you don't have. I mean, you have about 6 months to do it, and then you're kind of in training camp and in season, and it's not easy to come together like that in that quick a time. Now we did our best. I thought we did a good job last year, but we really had the time and the emphasis this off season, to push in that direction. And the credit really goes to the folks and the staff that we were working with that were already here. I mean, the mentality has been tremendous. The willingness to kind of, hey, let's kind of like what I was talking about last year. Like, let's take a leap of faith. This new voice that's going on that I haven't heard in a long time, and you don't feel the friction, that you might expect. So I really appreciate the attitude around the building.
Part of that message, I'm sure, is, hey, we got to figure out a way to make Lumen Field the most terrible place to play for opposition teams again. And I know you thought about that a lot this offseason. You guys worked on that along with everything else that you have to deal with. You looked at that considerably.
Well, we did. Yeah. I mean, how could you not? I think that's part of our philosophy. Something isn't the way you want it. Let's go look at the process of what went into that output, and let's make those processes better. So that's a huge point of emphasis for us. I think we really dug in deep and asked ourselves, what do we do and why from Friday to Sunday? How we warm up, all those different things were on the table. And I think you go in with kind of the open eyes about, okay, let's figure out, again, I'm broken record here, but what's the best way for us to do it? And let's go commit to it. And then let's go rock and roll. And it's a huge priority for us to play at home in a way where we can get the 12s rocking and make this a really intimidating place to play. And we got a great opportunity to start out the right way on Sunday.
How important? Well, I know it's important. That's a stupid question. How big a deal is it to start this season against a divisional opponent, not the least of which, the San Francisco 49ers? I mean, this has been one of the great traditional teams of the last couple of decades. What's that been like preparing for this game Sunday?
I'm not trying to belittle or make it less than it is, but I think we've really taken the philosophy of part of it because we are a younger team that doesn't have a lot. I mean, we have guys that have been through a lot of great, big time games and Super Bowls and things like that. But we are a young team, and shoot, I'm a young coach that haven't been a head coach I haven't been a head coach in a playoff game yet. There's things that we want to be able to achieve that we haven't gotten there as a team yet. And so our approach right now is, hey, anytime we step on this field, whether it's a walkthrough in OTAs or whether it's, a phase 1 walkthrough to a training camp number 1 to the first game of the season to the NFC Championship, we're going to have an intent to operate as the team that we want to be all the time at our best. And it's simply just at our best is what we're trying to achieve. And I think when you look at it through that lens, you just say, okay, look, this is obviously a great opportunity for us in an awesome atmosphere against a rival opponent that's in division. I mean, all those, but you start stacking those things up. Now, all of a sudden you're thinking about stuff that you don't need to be, that's outside of your control, rather than just going to play great football and doing the things you need to do to go win a football game. So that's how we're approaching it. We're not trying to make it less or bigger than it is. It's just the first game, and let's go rip it.
Okay, I promise no more real serious questions like this the rest of the season. We'll talk X's and O's from here on out. But I really appreciate it. It is great that we're getting back to football again, getting back to games that count. And what a way to start against San Francisco on Sunday. Mike, I really appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you pregame.
You got it, brother. Thanks, Steve.
All right, the Mike McDonald preview. Steve Rabel will have that every Friday at 8:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm with the coach. Let's go rip it.
Let's go rip it.
It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah. And, of course, you can listen to the game right here on KIRO Newsradio. That is going to be Sunday. That's a 1 o'clock game. It's 8:23, and Lori is at the traffic desk ably filling in for Sully this morning.
405 southbound, we're seeing some slowing, not only approaching 522, but then again right before 85th, where we had an accident in the opposite direction. The slowdown is actually southbound, where the accident was northbound. Making your drive from Linwood 24 minutes. Everett to Seattle right now, a 34-minute drive. Tacoma to Federal Way, only 11 minutes, and Federal Way to Seattle as you continue on is a 40-minute drive, and that's about 5 minutes longer than usual. Federal Way to Bellevue, 48 minutes, a 5-minute delay, and Renton to Seattle, 25 minutes if you're heading from Renton to Bellevue. That's a 33-minute drive, 5-minute delay. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And our forecast, nice day today. It's still a little smoky, but it's going to be sunny, 81, at least partly sunny. For tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms and 75, but some peaks of sunshine on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. And it looks like Wednesday, too, will be in the same kind of pattern with a mix of showers and sun breaks and highs around 70. Right now, it's 61 in Seattle.
Well, coming up, we have more of the Day Stop stories. Then Katrina stops by with her weekly parenting feature. And then Paul Holden is here with a weekend planner. A busy half hour ahead on Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by WaFed Bank.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO Newsradio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO Newsradio. On 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. It's all neurologists. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Some kids never smile. They're embarrassed by their crooked teeth. They want braces like the other kids, but their families can't afford them. Some may even try to straighten their teeth themselves. That can make everything worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. It helps provide orthodontic treatment to kids and teens whose families can't afford it. For kids who apply, are approved, and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, it can be life-changing. Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but Donated Orthodontic Services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit aaoinfo.org.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Last week, we discussed how orcas can recognize coastlines and land features. They also have very accurate internal clocks. According to naturalists at Puget Sound Express, the T60 family of Big's orcas has been hunting in our waters for the past week. August is T60 time. It's basically the only time of year this family visits us, and they return almost to the day each year. At least 10 other Big's orca families are also in the area right now, as are many humpbacks and minke whales. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
With over 20 new home communities throughout the Puget Sound area, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. A former Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to shut down a plane mid-flight is ready to plead guilty.
Joseph Emerson was off duty in the cockpit in October of 2023 when he grabbed two red handles. In a recent interview with CBS, Emerson explained and described why he did it.
In the dream, in this dissociative state, I thought they were going to wake me up. It didn't wake me up, right? I was in reality. I know that now. It's the most consequential 3 seconds of my life.
Emerson told police he hadn't slept in days, thought he was dreaming. He also said he'd taken psychedelic mushrooms. His attorney says Emerson will plead guilty today to a federal charge and no contest to a state charge.
The State Department of Health has issued a new standing order to expand access to COVID-19 vaccines. Now, residents 6 months and older can get vaccinated at most pharmacies and clinics without a prescription. Supplies may be limited until late September.
It's a smoky start to the morning in Seattle, and central and eastern Washington are dealing with a lot more wildfire smoke right now. Beth Friedman with the State Department of Ecology says air quality there ranges from moderate to very unhealthy.
We're not seeing an increase in winds or a big westerly, onshore flow to really push that smoke out for at least a few days.
All counties in central and eastern Washington are under air quality alerts.
Well, it is a Blue Friday. Here we go. Seahawks fans will pack Lumen Field Sunday afternoon for the season opener against the San Francisco 49ers.
Thing is, the visiting team's fans could outnumber the 12s. KIRO's Corwin Hake tells us about this prediction and how a new team policy could come into play.
Yeah, but believe it or not, you may have already heard this number. It's from a ticket reseller called Vivid Seats. They say their proprietary algorithm is predicting that 53% of the crowd at Lumen Field will be Niners faithful. Really?
I find that hard to believe, but it's not surprising because 49er fans do travel.
Yeah, your ears are not deceiving you. That's former Seattle radio reporter Ryan Harris. He lives in the Bay Area. He grew up a Niners fan, and he admits the San Francisco fan base can be a handful.
I'll say they're thugs. 49ers fans are thugs. You go to the game and you have to watch yourself even just trying to use the restroom because there's always fights and people getting beat up and hurt. It's a really rough and sometimes dangerous crowd.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to an old policy the Seahawks are reviving this season. Seattle cops, they say, will patrol the stands wearing the visiting team's hats and jerseys, Niners hats and jerseys in this case, this Sunday. And somehow that's supposed to ensure fans of both teams stay in line. Again, really? I don't know. But our pal Ryan calls the move to kid out the cops in Niners gear brilliant. He says that element of uncertainty will only help make the game a better experience for fans who may not be thugs.
Well, thanks to our old buddy Rhino there. Now I'm a little afraid to go to the game.
Right?
But if you are going,
yes,
there's a plan to get you there safe and sound.
Leave the worry of driving and parking behind and hop aboard the Sounder train. The Sounder S-Line has 2 trips departing the south end from Lakewood, the first at 9:51 a.m., the second at 11:07 a.m. From the north end, it's the N line, but there's only 1 trip departing Everett at 10:45 a.m. Special Sounder service is in addition to the regular Link Light Rail, ST Express, and King County Metro to and from Lumen Field. Head to soundtransit.org for more information and to see the full schedule. Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Let's find out how things are moving on the roads right now. For that, we check in with Lori Hardy. She's in for Chris Sullivan.
Southbound I-5 in Milton, right at 70th, a collision is slowing you down, actually in both directions of I-5 approaching the scene. Renton to Seattle right now, a 3-minute delay, and Renton to Bellevue, a 40-minute drive. Everett to Seattle, you're going to take 2 minutes longer than usual. Same for Everett to Bellevue, a 2-minute delay. Westbound 2 now just rolling slow from Homeacres. Tacoma to Seattle, a 49-minute drive. And Federal Way to Bellevue, you're going to see a 3-minute delay. 167 northbound is jamming up from 41st all the way to 405 in Renton. And then 405 northbound continues all the way through Newcastle. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Forecast looks nice and warm today, a high of 81. It will be smoky and hazy. And then we start to change in the weather around here. It starts to feel more like fall. High of 75, scattered thunderstorms on Saturday. On Sunday, showers in the forecast, 72, 71 on Monday, 69 on Tuesday. Fall is creeping in. Right now, though, we have smoky skies in Seattle and 59.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
It's now 8:35. Women are often the planner, the scheduler, the behind-the-scenes engine, and it's taking a toll.
KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard is here with more on that burden so many mothers carry.
Good morning, guys. New research is shedding light on this hidden burden many women carry, and it's called invisible labor. A recent study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family reveals that women shoulder 71% of family-related tasks. This includes things like planning doctor's appointments and organizing school schedules. Women say these are not just chores, they're the mental load that keeps families functioning, and they're often overlooked. So this mother is turning to social media to talk about this invisible labor and the real struggles she and others face.
Whenever I talk about the mental load, men will say things like, oh, that's not real. It's made up. It's just women overcomplicating things. It's just your anxiety. But when I ask women, the overwhelming majority of them will say that the mental load is crippling. It is exhausting. It is never ending, that their brain never turns off.
It sounds a little scary, but psychiatrist Dr. Sue Varmer spoke with CBS to unpack exactly what this imbalance is doing.
Not only the cognitive overload, but the emotional overload, right? Because a child is often turning to the mother, in most cases, assuming this heterosexual couple, for comfort, right? And the school is calling the mother when the child is sick, and who's taking time off from work. So all of it comes back down to the woman often.
She explains that this toll can lead to chronic stress, burnout, and even resentment in relationships. So she recommends couples sit down and map out their responsibilities.
Coming to the table and saying, what can I own? What responsibility, right? So the sports, the musical equipment, the scheduling, can I be a part of it? Can I do the pickup? Rolling your sleeves up, getting there at the dishes and unloading them before you need to be asked.
Dr. Varmer even suggests using shared calendars, apps, or even a weekly check-in to make the invisible visible. She also encourages partners to validate each other's contributions and recognize that mental and emotional labor is just as real as all the physical tasks.
Women, when they don't talk about their feelings, we found in a study of a few 100,000 women, they looked at they're 4 times more likely to die during the course of this study by not expressing their feelings. So you simply showing up and saying, talk to me about what you're experiencing, which is stressed out, burdened, unseen, undervalued, underappreciated, especially for the moms whose predominant role is caregiving. They feel as if just because I'm not bringing in income, you don't see me, you don't value me.
Everyone is busy these days, so families just need to be practical and understand that it's really powerful if you want to share this load.
Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was curious, just like what kind of arrangement with your husband have you worked out, Katrina? Because you have not 1 but 2 toddlers in your household. What's that like for you?
Chaos, but I describe it as beautiful chaos. I think what's key is like my husband and I have vastly different schedules. I'm here at 3 a.m. and he's starting his day at 5. He gets himself ready and then he gets the kids ready and he takes them to preschool and daycare. So with that in mind, when I'm here, I'm fortunate to be focused on my job and I'm tuned in. And so sometimes I'll take a peek and be like, oh, look, he's getting them dressed and ready. Or like, they're heading downstairs for breakfast. Those are all cute things. But on the real, it's like he handles everything for drop off. I'm the designated person for pickup. And then he'll come in and tag me out, or we'll work together for dinner time, for bedtime, for getting the kids dressed for bed, or just bath time. It's a whole ordeal every single night. But it's a beautiful chaos, like I said. And I think what's key is we play to our different strengths. So I'm really good at organizing. He's really good at making sure the garbage is taken out, that the kids, have everything they need for their lunch. I'll make sure that dinner is already prepped. So by the time he's home, okay, sit at the table, let's go, let's do this, and get everything on the road. So, it ebbs and flows.
In timely fashion, a friend of mine just posted this on Facebook. Imagine how awesome it is to be a husband and mention, I'm out of deodorant, and the next day deodorant magically appears on the counter.
Oh, yeah.
It happens. Not to push any buttons, but it happens.
Well, Katrina, love these features. You do them every Friday, and we will look forward to hearing you next week.
All right. Thanks,
Always
guys.
insightful. Thank you.
Okay. And Lori, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, it looks like things are clearing up a bit, but we do have a problem in Milton.
That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
It's 8:43 on this Friday morning. Let's check in again with Lori at the traffic desk.
Well, we have a collision, southbound I-5 in Milton. It's right about 70th. It looks like it's all cleared over to the shoulder. It was causing a delay in both directions of I-5. You're going to see off and on slowing from southbound 405 approaching 522 and again at 85th, making your drive from Linwood a 28-minute drive. Everett to Seattle is 31 minutes. Now, if you're heading from Tacoma to Federal Way, that's holding at 11 minutes, but Federal Way to Seattle now down to 37 minutes, about 4 minutes delay. Federal Way to Bellevue, a 6-minute delay. Renton to Seattle, 27 minutes, and Bellevue, a 36-minute drive. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
And our forecast, it's going to be a nice Friday. I had to think about it for some reason. Okay, time for a weekend. 81 today. We're going to be partly sunny. For tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms, 75. And then Sunday, scattered showers and 72. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, looks like we'll see scattered showers and sun breaks and highs around 70. Right now it's 61 in Seattle.
All right, coming up, we have Paul Holden coming by the show to talk about the weekend planner. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Summer can be the best time of the year, but if it's not feeling good in your house, if it's turning into an oven, some of the problems might be because you don't have enough insulation in your crawl space or attic. In fact, many homes in our region have damaged insulation or even none at all. Yeah, it's Mike Salk here, and you got to get somebody to check on it. That's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and do a full corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. And if it turns out that you've got a problem with your insulation, and maybe that's leading to bigger energy bills, guess what? Local utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of getting your house properly insulated. In fact, if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get your attic properly insulated. Yep, 95%. Call Crawl Pros if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event is on now. Save $500 per window, $1,000 per door. Plus enjoy zero payment, zero interest for 12 months. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
It is 8:49. You know what today is, Charlie?
It's Friday.
Yes, it is. And you know what that means? What?
It's time for Paul Holden. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yep.
I see we all got the memo of what color to wear today.
Yes, blue, not orange. If you're looking at the YouTube live feed right now, Paul is...
You have conflicting jersey colors on. And
I do, yes.
troublesome.
Me not knowing how to match. But
Paul is wearing...
black hat.
A Colorado Rockies cap and then a bright orange, ugly Broncos jersey.
Hey, I feel like I'm very courageous every time I wear this in here. I go in the belly of the beast. Yeah. Imagine then having to produce a podcast that only brings on guests from the Super Bowl champs, and then you just get to relive that over and over again each week. By the way, great new episode of The Reset out now on YouTube. But we got lots to talk about for this weekend, so let's dive into it
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
What?
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
What?
One thing we know for sure about the Pacific
That's
Northwest.
that's me right there. But anyway, we a little bit of we'll go solo. We'll go a cappella here today. But did you guys know that they finally have completed everything at the waterfront park? Have you guys gotten to spend some time at the waterfront this summer?
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely awesome. I think it really enhances and just kind of makes it's just made a huge difference, I think, down there. It was so nice to take my family out there when they were visiting. Well, they're having grand opening celebration. The work is done. The 20-acre park is complete. So Saturday, that's tomorrow from 11 to 9, live music, parades, games, all sorts of stuff. So if you haven't gone out there, perfect way, especially if you're getting ready for the Seahawks on Sunday there, you can go down there, check out the city, and see all the fun there. I have to ask both of you a question about science.
Okay.
Maybe it's scientific. I'm not sure.
The Pythagorean theorem.
No, I think that might be more math, but close. Why do kids love big construction vehicles?
Oh, just because they're cool and
just
big
and loud?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well,
Build
if you
things.
have a kid that is excited about big trucks, you're going to want to go to the Touch a Truck event at the Sprinkler Recreation Center. Kids are going to be able to check out a full fleet of vehicles, including a fire truck. Amanda, I know you're a fan of the fire trucks, a school bus, dump trucks. And here's the thing. So they're going to be able to get into the driver's seat, and not the cars aren't going to be on or anything like that, but they're going to be able to lay on the horn. How would that be tough for you to rein in your kids if they're like, hey, I'm on the big rig and you can hit the horn?
Oof.
That a few years back, Paul, I forget where this was. It was like at the Puyallup Fairgrounds. They had a thing where you could have your kids operate the heavy machinery, like the bulldozers and the backloaders and stuff like that, very supervised. My kids loved it. So just being able to go out there and be inside those vehicles, hit the horn, that sounds like a blast.
Absolutely. So that's going down 10 to 1 on Saturday. The honking's only going to go till noon. There is going to be a quiet hour. So there's only 2 hours of that. A really cool thing here, if you're a Lego fan or you got a Lego fan, BrickCon, it's one of the biggest Lego conventions in basically the world. When I was doing my research, I mean, this is where you go to see the greatest and cool in Legos. And if you are looking for some of those rare Legos as well, you can check that out. That is going down in Bellevue Saturday and Sunday. There's still a lot of festivals going on. The Mukilteo Lighthouse Festival runs through the weekend at Lighthouse Park. There's also going to be 300 wooden boats out in the water during the Wooden Boat Festival in Port Townsend, which is always cool. I bike past the boat museum coming in, and it's so cool to see them making those boats. And these are some legendary ships that they're bringing out there. And then, of course, we talked about this on Seattle's Morning News this week, and I just wanted to close on this. Mopop saying goodbye to the Nirvana exhibit. There's going to be a closing party tomorrow. How do you guys feel about how do you feel about the closing of that exhibit?
I'm conflicted.
Not crazy about it. Nirvana is such a important band and means so much for the Seattle area. I get it if they're going to be featuring a lot of other Northwest acts. Let's see. I'll withhold judgment, but Nirvana
it makes me
really.
A little sad.
Yeah,
I'm sad about it.
Sad.
Yeah, it was one of the cool things to see. I do love Mopop though, so if you haven't been, go check that out there. But we got a lot more and a full list of everything available for you this weekend, including a very busy sports weekend at mynorthwest.com.
When I was in 5th grade, a banner hung in my bedroom. The Seahawks were in the AFC West back then, and it was just basically a banner that said Bronco Busters, and it had the slash through the Broncos logo. I still haven't gotten over that, Paul.
Hey, and I'll never get over the fact of watching a snap fly over Peyton Manning's head on the first play of the Super Bowl and whatever happened after that.
All right, you take your orange jersey and purple hat and go on out of here.
Skedaddle!
And have a great weekend.
Go Broncos!
It's 8:53.
You did not just say that.
Sorry you had to hear that.
Is that legal?
I don't think so. We might have to complain to the FCC ourselves. Lori, you are at the traffic desk.
Westbound 90 at West Mercer Way. Look out for a stall. It's in the HOV lane, so they're going to be moving it over to the right side. Bellevue to Seattle on I-90 now, an 11-minute drive, which really no delay even with that stall. The same if you take 520, 11 minutes. Redmond to Seattle, a 14-minute drive, and let's see, that's if you take 520. If you take I-90, it's 19 minutes. Everett to Seattle, 30 minutes now, and Bellevue, 38 minutes. No delays either I-5 or 405 from Everett, westbound US 2, speed limit drive, no jamming up there. Tacoma to Seattle, 43 minutes, and Federal Way to Bellevue right now, just a 3-minute delay. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Lori Hardy, thanks for being here with us on this Friday morning. Lots of listeners hit the text line and said, wow, she's great.
Oh, it's fun to be here.
All right, have a good weekend. It's going to be beautiful today, partly sunny skies and 81, and changing for the weekend. Tomorrow we do have a chance of some scattered thunderstorms, some sun breaks too, a high of 75. And then cooling off Sunday, basically through Wednesday. We'll get a mix of showers and sun breaks and highs around 70 through Wednesday. Right now in Seattle, partly sunny and 61.
You saw what Melinda said on the text line, right?
I did not.
She said, hey, Paul, don't kid yourself. Manda's a fan of the firefighters, not the fire truck.
I'll go drop her a note.
Coming up on the G and Ursula Show, the best TSA travel news you've heard in a while. Angela Poe Russell is in for G today. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio this Friday morning.
Man wide open, touchdown Seahawks.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones, left tackle. The anchor to the left side of the offensive line for the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl. One of the best players in franchise history.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO Newsradio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
A serial killer on the prowl for teen girls in the Pacific Northwest.
At least 2 escaped.
She literally crawled out of her grave. Just a miracle that she survived.
Hear their stories. Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now.
With over 20 new home communities throughout the Puget Sound area, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.